Welcome to Joe Knowles Field here in Port Orchard, Washington. I'm Dave Rodriguez here with Arnie Otterbeck up in the booth on SKTV as we see the visiting North Kitsap Vikings of Paulsbo versus the home South Kitsap Wolves. Welcome to the game and welcome to the booth, Arnie Otterbeck.
D-Rod, thanks a lot for having me here. I'm pretty excited to come back to Slippery Rock. The last time I was here was 10 years ago when I actually was a player. So it's a real warm welcome. It feels good to be home and watch the South Kitsap Wolves take on North Kitsap.
Well, we are certainly honored to have a former player from South Kitsap, the football program here in the booth with us to give us some insight. And we will now observe the color guard as we go to our national anthem with the SK Band. A fine job from the SK marching band as they are in the bleachers and they performed our national anthem very nicely tonight. We thank the ROTC for being on the field for the pregame ceremonies. Tonight, Arnie, we see two former rivals. They are no longer in the same division or the same conference. They're no longer South Kitsap is 4A and North Kitsap is now 3A. So we can look for maybe South Kitsap to flex some of its proverbial muscle tonight.
Yeah, I think so. I think that South has the advantage. They have a long-standing program. I'm not saying that North Kitsap doesn't run a good program. Steve Freeze, he's been the coach the last few years out there. He does a really nice job with the kids. I think the thing that's really hurt North Kitsap is Kingston High School. Since it's been built, North Kitsap lost a number of players, including, I believe, somewhere around 4 to 6 starters, and that can really damage a team. And I think it kind of reflected in North last game where they took a beating from Bainbridge Island.
South Kitsap last week as well played at Kentwood and suffered a mere 2-point loss. And South Kitsap looking to rebound this week, maybe to sharpen those fangs on some of these Vikings. One thing South Kitsap shouldn't do is look past the Vikings.
Yeah, that's true. If there's one thing I do know, though, Wolves love seafood. And we know that Vikings come from the sea. Call me biased. I have to admit that I am. I think it will be a good game, but I think South will prevail in the end.
Well, South Kitsap 0-1 coming into the game. One thing to remember, though, is they are 0-0 in the conference. They haven't played any conference games yet, so or division games, and they will be looking to get their first victory in here before they play Central Kitsap next week. And the Wolves, head coached by DJ Sigurdsson, and with his assistant coaches, they put together a pretty good program here. Last week, they did keep it on the ground. quite a bit, as is South Kitsap tradition, and they also went to the air a few times. Chad Tester threw to Leon Ladeau for 5 times for 91 yards. Leon Ladeau, an incoming sophomore from Sedgwick Junior High, did a pretty good job out there. Arnie, can we look to see South go to the air a little bit more, or keep it on the ground, do you think?
You know, the one thing from practices and conversations that I've had with coaches, the one thing that I know that DJ Sigurdsson really strives for is creating a team that's more dimensional. In the past, we've just been known to churn out 1,000-yard rushers, and you know, South has a long history of it, and they run the ball, and they run the ball well. But what I think, looking over this roster and seeing some of the athletes they have out there on the team, that this team will be able to do a lot more different things out here on the field. We're seeing a very, very athletic South Kitsap squad here tonight.
We look for the kickoff. Number 99, Klopstein, looks to kick it off for South Kitsap to North. Number 38 for North.
It's an onside! It's an onside! Oh! Who's got the ball? Loose ball, loose ball! South Kitsap ball! South Kitsap ball on the 35!
What a way to start the game, Arnie, as South Kitsap onside kicks it. It goes down to the 40, kicked around, fumbled around a little bit, and it's recovered by South Kitsap at the 35-yard line, 37-yard line, and that's where they all set up shop, taking the North Kitsap Vikings totally surprised and taking us up here in the booth, as you can tell, totally by surprise. South Kitsap not usually going for the onside kick at the very beginning of a game. They get early possession. That's a huge deal because they will still get they'll get the ball at the beginning of the second half.
What a great way to start the game out.
Amazing. Chad Tester will take the ball under center. 2 wide outs, 1 left, 1 right.
Drops back.
And he's going right.
Oh, great. Great bat away.
Chad Tester's pass intended for Devlin Miller. On the defense, Taylor Chisholm.
That's Devlin Miller for South Kitsap.
Gets second 10 at the 37.
Looking right into the sun, trying to get that first reception. He was open for a second, but North Kitsap secondary closed in on.
I'll tell you what, Dave, if there's one thing you always go for after a sudden change, you go for the big play. And North was well aware of that. They made the adjustments necessary to keep that from happening.
That's Stephen Tucker driving down across the 30 to about the 29-yard line. Greg Otley on the tackle for the Vikings. It's 32.
Way to start off with the old bread and butter, 23 ice. As the old saying goes, if it ain't broken, don't try to fix it. There it is again. There it is. Tucker breaks outside. Number 39, Mark Kuhnel on the tackle.
Stephen Tucker, again, the ball carrier, driving for the first down. He's stopped by Matt Kuhnel.
Initially had a lot of work, and
Tucker drove down to the 25, where it's first down, Wolves.
shut him down for a big game, but South gets enough for a first down. South Kitsap looking at the goal line here from the 25-yard line. Not quite in the red zone yet. We've got Tucker in the backfield, as well as I believe that's Josh Burlingame, number 43.
Fullback with the ball, keeps grinding, looks in, number 43 is in! Just short, right on the 1-yard line.
Josh Burlingame on the carry down near the goal line. He's tackled by Matt Kuhnel.
Right side, Josh Burlingame. Looked like a touch for North Kitsap.
It's first and goal at the 1.
Yeah, North Kitsap really looking like they're playing on their heels. North Kitsap traditionally plays a real aggressive 3-4 style of football, but unfortunately it doesn't look like they're getting guys in the right place to disrupt plays.
Well, South Kitsap's offensive line declared on that huge game, that 20-yard game, and it looks like South is not going to ignore him. South Kitsap hands off to Stephen Tucker, and he's in.
Touchdown.
South Kitsap, as they score early with 100 seconds into the game. South Kitsap scores the first touchdown after a brutal onside kick, gives them first possession and first score. South Kitsap looked pretty determined and motivated there on that first drive.
Yep. They took a chance and they made money on it. That's for sure, D-Rod.
So North Kitsap had that, it looked like they had their hands on that onside kick, and they just kept batting it around, and South comes up with it. They go in for the score. The extra point here from number 27 for South, Quincy Lyman, money.
Here comes the snap. Oh, it's a fumble, fire call. Quincy Lyman trying to run the ball, finding room. North Kitsap defenders go. He fumbles it.
And Quincy Lyman tackled, fumbled, and the ball is down at the 12-yard line where South Kitsap
Extra point to
almost
Tim,
looked like
so
it was an
good.
intentional
And with the
snap
10:21 to
and
go in the
run,
first
Quincy
quarter,
Lyman.
gets the
But
little 6.
like you said, it looked like
And the
a
Vikings
possible
0.
fire where the kicker could not quite get the kickoff, and he just takes it and goes for it. And boy, it's didn't quite turn out right for South there. 6-0 South Kitsap here early, very early in the game. South Kitsap looking to score early and often, I'm guessing here.
That's a tough point to lose because, like we said, you really can't not give any credit to this North Kitsap team. That may be costly later in the game. We'll go and find out, huh?
We don't want to overlook North Kitsap ever or any team that we play. And once again, South coming off that 2-point loss last week, looking to get on the board early to give these guys some confidence. DJ Sigurdsson pulling out a trick or two here.
Kicking off for the Wolves.
Nice call. 99 Clopston will kick off again. We'll see if this is the traditional high school kickoff here.
And Ryan Cleaver deep for the Vikings.
2 men deep for the Vikings, number 20, and they're going to kick it to number...
And that's out of bounds. That should be a penalty, D-Rod.
Probably will be.
Yep, laundry on the field.
Yep, we got a penalty against South Kitsap for kicking it out of bounds. I don't think that was intentional, but you never know. Just trying to kick it up the sideline. Number 20, Taylor Chisholm, and number 22, Ryan Cleaver back for North Kitsap on the kick return. Look like they're trying to keep it away from number 20. They must have believed that he's a threat, Taylor Chisholm.
He was actually the DB that made the play when they were going deep on that first play from scrimmage.
Kind of a do-it-all guy for North Kitsap.
Yeah, unfortunately, when you try to kick it in the corner like that, you're trying to take away 2/3 of the field from the receiving team. Unfortunately, they just overkicked it, went out of bounds. So North is starting at the 35.
Handoff straight up the middle. South tackler is right there to meet the runner for North Kitsap at the 36, a gain of about 3 on the play.
Big number 52, Brian Kuznick, the 6'7", 285-pounder.
Looked like Brosey on the carry there for on the tackle there for South Kitsap. And South, like I said, always ready for that run right up the middle. We'll see how the battle goes here between North's offensive line and South's defensive line.
North lining up in a trip set. Looking, finding the slant, just missed the fingertips.
Good defense by South Kitsap there as they waiting for the pass in the middle and
coverage for the Wolves
for a second.
by
Just
Brandon
overthrew him
Mayfield.
off his fingertips there. The quarterback for North Kitsap, number 4, and that's Keith Stinger. He'll be taking snaps. He's a 6'2", 205-pounder junior from North. Looking like they're ready to go to the passing game pretty quick here. They've got all sorts of people in the backfield.
Same formation. Looking to go deep. Testing the DB. Great catch!
Wow.
Great catch!
A great catch at the 39-yard line from North Kitsap's
That pass complete
single
to Ryan
receiver.
Cleaver
Ryan Cleaver, number
at the
22,
39-yard line.
makes the nice one-on-one solo catch
Brandon
at the sideline
Mayfield
at
on
the
the tackle.
39. What a
First down,
catch.
Vikings.
Boy, he just turned, faced the ball, and the defender was there right with him. He comes down with the ball, gives North Kitsap a huge gain, and a first down to give them some
Official
momentum here.
timeout.
South Kitsap looking like they got to hunker down to keep North from advancing the ball here. That's 3 plays, 2 passes. So North looking to go to the air here early.
North must have seen something in the game film because they were testing Brandon Mayfield early. They've got the big tight end split out, one-on-one to the left. Looks like a draw. South Kitsap, he's turning his legs, running hard.
Wow, he's up to the 34-yard line, a tough 5 yards. Boy, he was just really turning the legs and gets a few big yards there. That'll wear down on you as a defense if that continues throughout the game.
That's right. That's just great tough running by Bros. He's doing what you got to ask your fullback out of that kind of offense.
Boy, he's just punishing that D-line right now. We'll see how much longer he can hold that up. We're still early in the game, but a nice run from Brosey.
Trips left in the gun. Looking to keep it. Quarterback looking to find some open field. Tackle. take it down.
Well, that is a nice run. That's a nice keeper from the quarterback. Gets up to the 27-yard line. Goes right, and the South defense
down from behind
started to catch up there at the 26 for a first down. And the South going to have to bear down here a little bit in the first quarter.
Yeah, Corey Galligan did a real nice job selling the fake. It just looked like the South defenders got caught off balance. They've been on the play action. Corey Galligan did a nice job getting the first down. Same formation. Lining up trips on the wide side of the field.
We'll see where they air it out to here. It's a handoff right up the middle, and South tacklers are right there to meet him. Right there. We've got a nice defensive line for South Kitsap. Not huge, but definitely disciplined and ready to play. Josh Burlingame, number 43, in there as well. He's the fullback for South Kitsap, playing both sides of the ball today. Boy, North Kitsap really setting up for that pass attack here early.
They really are. I think what they're trying to do is really test the discipline of South Kitsap defense, getting them play honest by using that inside draw and that QB keeper. Once again, trips to the wide side of the field in the gun.
And we're going to throw it again. Oh,
tip!
Oh, wow. Boy, that's amazing. It was tipped at the line. It turned into a tip drill, and number 4, the quarterback from North Kitsap gets hit on the pass and comes up a little gimpy while walking around, trying to walk it off at the 40-yard line. South defense definitely pursuing him, trying to get to the quarterback early, trying to take a little X factor into this passing game from the defensive side of the ball. Amazingly caught by North Kitsap, and it gives them a third down and 8 at the 27.
Double set.
That's a shotgun.
Looking at the screen, looking to go deep.
Oh boy, overthrows him. Boy, number 4, the quarterback. Stinger for North Kitsap, still a little shaky after that last play. Nowhere near his targeted receiver, and throws it wide out of bounds. I believe that's going to bring a fourth down for North Kitsap, and they're going to bring the field goal. This is a little long here for the high school football leg. Excuse me, that's a timeout from North Kitsap. They're going to discuss whether or not they want to go for it or try to kick it. Like I said, that's a bit long for a high school kicker. It's about a 40-yard field goal.
I think you're really asking a lot. I don't know if North has any kickers who are within that range. I think this is going to be a real test of how much, how do they call it, intestinal fortitude North Kitsap has with a big fourth down here. Looks like they had a couple opportunities to make some big plays. Unfortunately, a few things happened to just convert.
Well, I'd say North Kitsap's philosophy thus far has been throw everything at them and see who catches the ball. We've seen 4-2-5 receivers every single play, and they've passed almost every play. I think only 2 handoffs so far. And they've run about 10, 12 plays here. North Kitsap keeping the ball in the air. South Kitsap doing a good job defending, giving up only 1 big pass, and then the random tip and catch from North Kitsap. That's not how they drew that. North Kitsap once again going out, trips right.
Going for it.
Got 4 wide receivers on this. 1 back, shotgun.
They're looking to test the middle of the field.
South Kitsap defenders break it up. There's a nice crossing pattern from North Kitsap there over the middle, and number 81, Leon Ledoux, helps break that up, and he comes up a little limpy himself on the play. Maybe tweaked his ankle a little bit there, breaking it up. Leon Ledoux's a hustler, and he'll give it all every game and every play, as only a sophomore. And it's a turnover on downs for North Kitsap, as South Kitsap will take over on the 23-yard line, and Chad Tester and the crew will come back out. And, a little confusion there at the beginning, and Tester and the backs are getting their thing together, and we've got 2 wide receivers, left and right. We'll see where we go here. We've got 1 back.
Let's see if South decides to go for the big play right away. Looks like a 23 ice. Great block by the fullback. Running back finds some open field. Open field tackle made by number 45, Greg Otelli.
41, Stephen Tucker with the carry again. And that's a play that these kids run from little guys onward. 23 ice, they're just used to it. You can see some of the junior high guys on the sideline on the right, by the right goalpost, watching the game from the field here. Those guys are running that every day at practice, and by the time they get up to high school, it's routine. We have 2 backs right now behind our quarterback, Tester.
8 men in the box for the Vikings.
Tester flushed out of the pocket. He's got pressure. He's going to have to throw or run with it. He runs with it and is tackled for a very short gain of 1. It's going to be 3rd and 5 after Tester keeps the ball. Nobody really open. He didn't really have time enough to set up and throw the ball at that time. Tester testing the North Kitsap defense, saying, "Can you catch me now?"
It's a passing situation for South. Let's see what they do. They may go for the bootleg on here.
It wouldn't be a surprise. Although South Kitsap is very confident with their running game, and they figure they can show up 5 yards at a time. And we'll see what TJ Segerson calls here.
High pro left. Looks like a 23 ice. Oh, met. Only short gain of 1.
Stopped short. The ball carrier for South Kitsap, Stephen Tucker, trying to follow his blockers and just nowhere to go. The North Kitsap defense doing a good job of closing down and running.
North Kitsap did a real nice job. Their kids did a nice job of just starting to play a little bit tighter.
And they're going to force South Kitsap into a punt. And the punt receivers, the punt returners are set up. We have one punt returner back at the 35. Chisholm back there.
Back to punt, the senior, David Wells. A little high snap.
Gets off a short punt, is going to field it at the 43 if they're a catch. And they'll start up at the 42. North Kitsap getting the ball back. Let me guess, they're going to go back to the air.
Where do the Vikings take over?
That would be my guess, Dave. You know, you were talking about the junior high guys being out here tonight. This has got to be a real special occasion for those kids, getting a chance to maybe observe what their future might look like here when they come to the high school.
Well, the junior high guys, nothing better than to watch what they could possibly become here at South Kitsap, and what good things hard work will bring you. And got those guys over there, most of them watching the game, some of them thinking about other things.
Looks like an end around. There it is, number 43 on the tackle.
Josh Burlingame for a loss of 2 on North. Boy, he was in the backfield pretty quick there. Josh Burlingame really proving himself as a 3-year football athlete here at South Kitsap, really coming in ready to play as a sophomore and just really proving to the coaching staff here that he's the guy that's going to play every down.
He is a baller, that's for sure.
South Kitsap doing what they need to do and bearing down and hunkering down here against North Kitsap. North Kitsap in they are about a 2nd and 15 situation here. That was a big loss on that last play. And they're going to look to go to the air right here.
Screen, great play by number 7.
Is that our quarterback, Chad Tester?
Chad Tester, he read screen the whole way.
Wow.
Made the tackle.
One thing about the South Kitsap athletes is a lot of them can play both sides of the ball, and both sides of the ball can make big plays. Chad Tester coming up with the big play out in the flat there to stop the North Kitsap receiver. What a play.
Great job. Now it's looking like third and
about 21. Third and 21. Third in the field.
I think they're passing.
I'm gonna guess pass. They're keeping their linebackers in the box just in case they run up the gut here. We're going. Well,
they're going for a draw.
They went for the draw. Could be either a hold on North Kitsap or a face mask on South Kitsap. Not quite sure what they're going to call. The referee had a better view than we did. We'll see. If it is a face mask, it will only give them close to the first down, but not quite. If it's a hold, it'll go against North and push it back farther. That's a face mask against South. It's going to give them about 15 yards. It should bring up about a 3rd and 3 situation, but not quite the first down. That's an untimely penalty against South Kitsap on a 3rd and long situation where they did go for that draw up the middle, like we were talking about a little bit, and kind of bailed them out there.
That's just a real bad situation to have happen during a 3rd and long, especially when your defense has been playing so well. That can really take the wind out of their sails. We'll see how the South's defense reacts to the penalty.
3rd and 5 situation here for North Kitsap is South is they were looking at 3rd and long, and now they're looking at 3rd and about 4.5. We'll see how South Kitsap's defense responds here. And also interesting to see what kind of play North Kitsap runs here. They almost got away with the draw there. I'm going to guess pass. That's what they've shown us so far. That seems to be their favorite place to go. So we'll see what North Kitsap and company pulls up here. Trip backs.
Interesting set. Single tight. Penalty. Looks like encroachment. That may lead to a North Kitsap first down.
The offensive lineman for North Kitsap seemed pretty excited, and that is against South Kitsap, 2 penalties in a row. And I'm guaranteeing you that Coach Segerson is not happy with that. No head coach is happy with that. A substitution comes in, number 62 for South Kitsap on the D-line. That's big number 62. Let's find his number.
It looks like
Dennison comes in for South. And South goes again. Not sure if they were drawn off sides by a movement on the North Kitsap offensive side of the line. 3 straight plays, 3 straight penalties. That's a false start against North Kitsap, and they'll march back 5 yards. The coach is probably pulling their respective hair out of their heads right now as we've got 3 consecutive plays, 3 consecutive penalties. North Kitsap looking at a 1st and 15.
Not a good time to get a penalty.
Well, early on in the season, we do see a little bit more of the penalties. The good teams that come in, that are winning games towards the end of the season, those penalties just kind of go away. And
looks like a blitz is coming. Almost intercepted.
Number 3 for South Kitsap in there on the defense comes in and knocks away the ball. Had it in his hands and just couldn't quite hold on to it. And boy, he had a pick going the other way. Boy, nice defense though by South Kitsap.
Like Josh Burlingame was back there again, pressuring the quarterback.
Really an excellent play from the South Kitsap defense. Sitting on that pass play from North, a little roll out to the right. And North here with a 2nd and 15. They've run a lot of interesting sets so far tonight, Arnie.
They have. Now they're back in the double set. Running back to the right of the quarterback and gun, looking to go deep.
Boy, and number 4, the quarterback, Stinger for North Kitsap, just a little long on his range, so on the sideline routes the last couple of possessions. Those receivers are looking like they're breaking away a little bit. If he puts it up in front of them a little bit and a little farther up the field, I think they might have a couple of touchdowns.
Yeah, D-Rod, that's just the problem. He's just kind of overthrowing to their outside shoulder. If we let him a little bit more, he might give the receiver an opportunity to make a big play happen.
And I think these North Kitsap receivers, looks like they practice this quite a bit. They're ready to fly up the sideline on these routes. And boy, North Kitsap really throwing a lot of different looks at South here. And South, doing a good job of keeping up, and they look ready.
Here we go back to the double set. Running back shifted to the left and gun.
And it looks like we have another pre-snap penalty on probably North Kitsap, a false start. Boy, there's been a lot of lingerie on the deck here tonight so far, especially this particular possession by North. 2 costly penalties consecutively against South Kitsap gives North a first down, and now North seemingly marching themselves backwards with the penalties of their own. Nothing will drive a coach more nuts than penalties.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what put gray hairs in your head there, D-Rod.
You can see him right now as a coach, a 9-year coach of boys basketball. I'm surprised that the hair that I pulled out is actually growing back, but it has been gray. The hair that has grown back has been gray, and Coach Segerson certainly can sympathize with that as North Kitsap looks to snap here on a 3rd and 20, and he rolls out right. Oh, and just kind of throws up a duck out of bounds. Nothing happening. Oh, geez. Number 4 takes another pop. Number 35 for South Kitsap, Matt Mays, reminding Stinger that he is there and don't roll out on us because someone's gonna put you to the deck.
Stinger getting stung, huh?
Yeah, he did get stung. Matt Mays put him to the ground, and boy, that duck just kind of flew out of bounds. I'm not sure both times that they rolled out right, bootleg right, they haven't. North Kitsap hasn't had much success. They're going to have to mix that one up a little bit. South Kitsap's going to really shut them down.
You have to admit, I was expecting a little bit more diversified passing game from North Kitsap. But South has done a real good job studying their opponent, shutting things down after making some adjustments after that first drive.
The punt from North Kitsap is a shank right.
Whoa!
It's about a 10-yard punt from North. And that's one of the things about high school football is the kicking game isn't going to be as specialized as it is in college or the pros. So sometimes the kicking game is not as sharp, and that's to be expected sometimes.
Yeah, and I mean, who knows? I'm not sure if North Kitsap may have lost their kicker last year to Kingston High School. So it's hard to find a great kicker in high school. You try to recruit, try to find soccer players, or maybe even a rugby player or two. That seemed to be the trend in the NFL for some time.
Well, a rugby player is kicking in the NFL. Is that right?
They are.
That's
Velocity
interesting.
guys.
That's interesting. Pass right to number 23.
Oh, number 23.
Left the right sideline. That's Devlin Miller. That's Devlin Miller going up the right sideline.
Real estate. There he goes. Touchdown.
Devlin Miller catches the rollout pass to the right and goes up the right sideline, rumbling and stumbling into the end zone for a touchdown. Breaks a couple of tackles, and the South Kitsap just like that with another touchdown as the cannon goes off. The ROTC cannon, symbolizing another South Kitsap touchdown. Devlin Miller with a nice catch and run after catch to put 6 more on the board for South Kitsap.
Yep, he did a great job running the ball, D-Rod, keeping tacklers off him. Great stiff arm down the field, kept his legs churning, and it paid off.
Boy, he really broke away there from the North Kitsap tacklers.
That's Devlin Miller with a 23.
Right to the house. Number 27, Quincy Lyman in for the extra kick. We'll see if we can get one off here. And Quincy Lyman, as expected, puts it right through the goalpost. 13-0 Wolves. 2:27 left to go in the first quarter. And South Kitsap really looking impressive on that last play.
Looking real good. Great pass play. Just a great pitch and catch. That's what it came down to.
So it looked like North Kitsap was thinking left and we went right. And a ton of blocks. And that's one thing about South Kitsap is you can always expect good blocking and smart play from the linemen up front.
Yeah, they have a long tradition of great linemen coming through here. In fact, Benji Olson, right guard for the Tennessee Titans, former Wolf.
Absolutely, Benji Olson. Benji Olson holding his annual golf tournament here in South Kitsap over the summer for a fundraiser. Doing a good job, Benji. Giving back to the community when he can. That's class act, Benji Olson.
That's fantastic. That's great to hear, D-Rod.
South Kitsap looking to kick off here to North again. The dangerous duo for North Kitsap setting up in the back, number 20 and number 22. Chisholm and
for the Wolves.
Cleaver.
And Ryan Cleaver.
Let's see which one we're trying to kick away from this time. I wouldn't want to kick either one of them. They both look pretty good.
Set up on the right hash. He drops it.
That's a drop ball.
Defenders swarming. Great tackle. Who was that?
Boy, Cleaver picks it up and drops it. And the swarm of South Kitsap tacklers, they're ready to greet him after the drop. Really, that takes you back a couple of steps, and by the time you pick up the ball and start looking upfield, tacklers are there right in front of your face, and boy, he only got a couple of yards after he picked it up.
And that was a great shoestring tackle by number 23, Devlin Miller.
Our man who just took it to the house on offense.
Kids pulling double duty.
We've got our quarterback making tackles on the other side. We've got our one of our receivers making tackles on special teams. A good overall job, and Josh Burlingame doing double duty. Good job from South Kitsap, both sides of the ball.
All right, wide left, trips left.
Hand off.
Hand off to the fullback. He's churning his legs, looking for yards. Having a tough time.
That's number 32.
Actually 43, Josh Burlingame again on the tackle.
Josh Burlingame, both sides of the ball. Number 32, Kyle Brosey for the run right for North Kitsap. Picks up a few tough yards. I mean, the kid runs pretty tough. South Kitsap trying to bottle him up.
Great job by the South Kitsap defense. Those hogs up front really shutting down the running lanes.
Ready for any run to come up the middle, and good tackles so far by South, not letting them get any big plays up the middle. And that's one thing you really worry about as a coach, is letting those big plays snap off up the middle.
Looks like a quarterback change. Keepers, he's shifty. Finds absolutely nothing.
We've got number 20, one of our kickoff returners, Chisholm, taking snaps right now. Apparently Stinger roughed up a little bit here in the first quarter, is out of action for the time being. So number 20 is taking snaps now for North Kitsap. Good news for South Kitsap, bad news for North, I'm thinking at this point.
Well, we'll see what happens. Chisholm looks like a pretty good athlete. Might add a new dimension to the offense. Let's see if they stick to what they do. Oh, Stinger back in the game.
And Stinger back taking snaps now. He's set up in the shotgun.
Looks like the South DBs are pressing. He's looking, going deep.
Going left. And once again, you know, this kid's got a good arm on him. You can tell because he's overthrowing his deep receivers on these routes. If he gets his accuracy down, I think he has the potential to do some damage. Tonight, looking a little rusty. We'll see if he can sort it out before the end of the night.
To me, D-Rod, when I was looking at that play, it looked like there might have been 2 receivers. One of them might have been running the wrong route because it created a lot of traffic in that area. It looked like they had 2 receivers right next to each other.
I wonder if that would be an intentional play or if that was a blown...
Oh, fumble!
Fumble on the punt.
He's looking for it, kicks it.
Whoa, nice kick, nice recovery.
Great
Wow,
kick.
what a kick. You know, the punter for North Kitsap, number 5, Zach Sampson, was absolutely a dead duck in the water. He fumbled the snap. He's almost on the end line, in the end zone, and the last punt he had was about 10 yards.
Yeah.
And that was a straight-on kick, nobody in his face. This time, he's running for his life. He kicks a boot, goes about 50 yards, and kind of saves North Kitsap here in the first half. If South Kitsap recovers on the goal line, it could be over quick. Nice boot, Zach Sampson.
All right, I formation left. Looks like the toss.
Stephen Tucker up the right side. Looks like it's the flag on the field. Looks like it's probably going to be a hold against South Kitsap is my guess. I see the flag in that area. That's against South Kitsap. That's where he's going to come back. It's going to be first and 15 for South Kitsap after the penalty.
It's not even the first half, and I've seen more flags than at the U.S. Embassy.
They're flying. They are flying. The flags are flying off. I think we've seen about 8 flags here tonight so far.
I know. It's like a Raiders game.
5-yard illegal shift penalty.
The Raiders games, they run out of flags.
It'll be
Tonight,
15.
we're going to be doing a lot of laundry out after the game because there's going to be a lot of grass stains on these yellow flags. They're just flying. The coaches going nuts, I'm sure. So far, these kids doing a pretty good job. The penalties kind of doing some damage to themselves. Up the left side, Stephen Tucker takes the handoff. Oh, and a good tackling there by number 39 for North Kitsap. That's Matt Nude, and a nice tackle from him. As you mentioned, Arnie, a nice block from Burlingame, and Nude comes in for the nice shoestring tackle to stop the progress of Stephen Tucker. As the first quarter comes here to a close, it's 13-0 South Kitsap, and South Kitsap will have the ball on second down to start the second quarter. So far, what we've seen is mostly a passing-heavy attack from North Kitsap, largely ineffective so far. What's the reason for that, Arnie?
Oh, I just really think that they're trying to test the South DBs deep. In all honesty, I think they should just be playing small football. They seem to be playing pretty one-dimensional right now, only having success on their inside draw. I think they really need to diversify their offense. Maybe South's defensive front's just playing really solid against the run right now, so North maybe have some concerns in that. But I really think that their quarterback's going deep too many times.
Most football people would say that you need to set up the running game before you can set up the passing game.
Absolutely.
This is the case of North going to the air too quickly and not setting up that running game.
I agree. They're the opposite. They're using the pass to set up the run. Unfortunately, South is prepared, and they've got the athletes back there to make plays happen. I think a lot of it has to do too is the amount of pressure the South defensive line is putting on the quarterback and making it tough for him so he has to make a lot of quicker decisions or making plays on the run.
South Kitsap doing a good job of disrupting North's quarterback, Stinger. South Kitsap setting up, handoff to number 34 for South Kitsap up the left sideline, almost to the first down marker.
Ryan Williams, the ball carrier.
Number
He
34.
drives down to about
Ryan Williams, the junior.
penalty on the play.
There is another penalty on the field.
46-yard
Surprise, Arnie. I'm not sure what it's going to be.
Let's see what we got here, D-Rod.
Oh, they've called everything so far. A little bit of sloppy play here in the first half. I'm sure that both coaches will be discussing that with their teams in the locker room at halftime.
Yeah, I got to admit, there's nothing more frustrating. Penalties just kill it. Great plays.
Well, that was a nice run up to the left side from Ryan Williams, and to be erased here as South is going to be called another penalty. And North Kitsap
Penalty assessed against the Wolves.
penalties are watching the Wolves back. South Kitsap not really going to the air too much here, kind of a tale of two football teams. They're keeping it on the
It's
ground.
second and 20 at the 39.
Nothing kills a big play like a holding call. South did a nice job setting up the counter. Now they're lining up high pro left. Let's see what they got in store for us.
Early game and Williams in the backfield now.
North Kitsap's defense doing a little stemming up front.
Tester steps back, steps up. He
Looking
throws
deep. Oh, great interception, number 45.
Number 23, Devlin Miller, goes for the circus catch. Accidentally
Greg Utley
tips it
on the
into
interception at the
defender's hands.
32.
Comes up with a big pick.
First down,
North
Vikings.
Kitsap at the 32-yard line.
You know, at the junior highs, we tell our kids to always keep their eyes up. That's why you keep your eyes up, D-Rod. You never know when the ball's going to end up in your hands or your chest or wherever for you to make a play.
That was a gift.
That was a gift.
Devlin Miller was thrown a little to his left, and he turned right, so he had to try to recover, and the ball just glanced off his hand right into the North Kitsap defender. North Kitsap is set up here at the 32-yard line, 1st and 10.
Looking to swing. South Kitsap defender coming up.
South Kitsap's defense is just slow. Number 4, Stinger, slow to get up the field. You got to think, as a football player, you only take 4 hits before you're going to have to take a seat.
I'll tell you what, it sure gives you happy feet in the pocket if you're a quarterback looking to make a play. We'll see how it affects his play later in the game. Right now, South's doing a real nice job getting guys through the gaps, forcing them to make quicker decisions. North Kitsap tried to run a screen play there, but it looked like South Kitsap safety number 3.
We're still trying to get his name. I believe, not quite sure who that is. We'll get that for you by halftime.
He just did a nice job coming up.
Breaking up the play, a lot of pressure on the quarterback so far. Shotgun, handoff, right up the middle. South Kitsap ready. I'm guessing that's Brosey in the pile there.
That is Brosey. He's a tough runner.
He's a beast. For North Kitsap, he really turns those legs and just...
Ball carrier was Ryan Cleaver, tackled by Brad Feddersen.
Brad Feddersen on the tackle.
Cleaver ahead across the 35 to the 36-yard line.
The carrier for North Kitsap, not quite sure. A big pile there. 3rd and 6 for the Vikings. South Kitsap's defense ready for the run play and the pass play. We'll see what North Kitsap throws out of here. Drops back, throws right. Nice catch. Nice catch, and he's up the right sideline. Wow.
Taylor Chisholm on the
One thing
reception.
about these
Jared
Vikings,
Moore
a lot of fight.
on the tackle.
That's a nice catch and run and stumble after catch by, I believe that's number 20.
Chisholm down to the 20-yard line where it's first down.
Nice pass. I was wondering if the quarterback for the Vikings is ever going to get a nice pass completion because he's been throwing those bombs all night. And sometimes someone's going to catch them. Stinger finally gets his reception, a long one, and a big play for North Kitsap. Really, South Kitsap, they're up 13-0. If they put another score on the board, the game is looking pretty bleak for North Kitsap. Right now, North Kitsap doing a good job of keeping this game a game.
Well, those kids got a lot of fight in them, and the coaches are going to try putting them in the best position to be successful on the field. That was just a great play by Tony Chisholm. Little slash, Stewart.
Right through the hands. The pass right through the hands of the North Kitsap receiver.
Right, Cleaver, the intended receiver.
Cleaver just couldn't quite
Covered
come
by
up.
David Wells.
Nice defense by number 80 there, David Wells on the defense. Passes through his hands. Little snap and toss it up there type of play. Really a pretty good target from the quarterback. North Kitsap obviously works on a lot of passing in their practice times, and these guys are ready to pass the ball.
North's gone deep twice. Let's see if they come up with something different. Quarterback under center.
No handoff here, and
Interception!
Easy pick from number 3 for South Kitsap. We'll see who that is.
Pass intended for Taylor Chisholm, picked out by Jared Moore.
He's having a great game tonight, that's for sure, D-Rod.
Wow, he's had good plays on defense, including that interception. Boy, number 4 for North, the quarterback, Stinger. He is really
Moore down to the 11-yard line where the Wolves take over. First down.
And number 3 right there to intercept for South Kitsap.
Great job by the South Kitsap defense.
And just when that momentum seemed like it would be shifting, North Kitsap turns the ball over. South gets the ball back. Let's see what they can do here. I'm guessing that they want to chew up a bunch of clock here before halftime, see if they can put it in the end zone and put North Kitsap down big at halftime. Keeping the ball overthrown left sideline. Tester overthrows number 83. Was that number 23, Devlin Miller?
Brad Fairweather, the intended receiver.
Sorry, Brad Fairweather, number 83 for South Kitsap. Overthrown by Chad Tester. Fairweather, a junior, 175, 6'1" junior, playing a little bit of tight end tonight for South Kitsap. Little change in the lineup. And South Kitsap coming up on a 2nd and 10 with 2 backs. Tester behind center. 1 left, 1 right receiver. Hand off up the middle and going left. And a little bit of land there. I believe that's
Stephen Tucker ahead for the first down.
on the run.
Greg Utley on the tackle.
Right up the left side.
Tucker out to the 25-yard line.
Juking and driving a little, picking up the first down for the Wolves. That's always nice to get a first down when you get the ball with the end zone to your back.
And I think South's really making a statement, telling North that they're not afraid to take the ball on the ground on this 3rd and long.
And not only for North, but for future opponents. There's probably some scouts here tonight. CK is probably here tonight checking out South. And, South is going to keep it on the ground. You got to stop them on the ground in order to stop them. Hand off up the left side. Oh, it's a keeper going right. Chad Tester flushed out of the pocket. He's going to keep it. He's going to go up the right sideline. And he's going out of bounds at the 36-yard line after a nice little gain. Looks like he got flushed out. Maybe, a little bit of difference in the game here is, North's quarterback is getting flushed out and pressured and maybe making some questionable decisions. Chad Tester doing a good job there of holding on to the ball and, seeing some opening up the right sideline, taking himself, picking up some yards.
First down, Wolves, the 37.
Good decision.
Yeah, he just did a real nice job. Never gave up on the play. Saw that no one was there, just took the ball and kept going with it.
Nice run from Tester, and a setup here at the 35-yard line. South Kitsap led, 36. North Kitsap got 2 linebackers in the box. And right up the middle again. Keeper from Chad Tester with some good fakes here.
South going to the air, finds a man deep, intercepted.
North Kitsap comes down with the ball. The ball a little bit underthrown by Tester. Had a man open.
Intended for Sean State.
Great job by the sophomore, Alex Flores.
Sean State, the intended receiver for South Kitsap. A little bit underthrown, and the interception from North Kitsap, kind of a turnover festival here in the 2nd quarter. No fumbles, just interceptions. As South Kitsap
first down, Wolves
the ball
on the
over
27.
to North Kitsap. Take
First down, Vikings,
27
on the interception.
We'll see if either team can capitalize on these turnover opportunities. It's kind of like a no-out walk in baseball. Usually these turnovers turn into scores. We'll see what North Kitsap can do here.
South Kitsap's defense has been playing tight all game. North Kitsap lining up in a double tight formation out of the gun.
Goes up the right sideline once again and overthrown once again to his intended receiver up the right sideline past the 50-yard line. Stinger just got a little too much emphasis on his ball tonight. Take a little bit off, and I think they've got some big plays.
Well, 2 Stingers under pressure. Matt Mays gave him a good lick right after he let go of the ball. Again.
Stinger showing his toughness by staying in the game. He came up gimpy off that after the couple of hits in the first quarter there. And, showing some mental and physical toughness here and some leadership to his teammates. So, yeah, I'm going to get hit, but we're going to stay in the game. So, good leadership there from the quarterback from North Kitsap.
All right, North Kitsap coming out in the same formation, giving that inside draw. Bros once again with a carry. Keeps his feet moving, no whistle.
Jeez.
Kyle Brosey's driving. He drops the 35-yard line.
Brosey's a load.
Monday struck down by Matt Mays.
Yeah, great job, 190-pound fullback.
Wow, he runs like he's about 140 the way he runs. Really just holding on to the ball and dragging tacklers with him and his own teammates. And if the coaches want to jump in there too, he'll probably carry them along too. Referees, coaches, whoever. He's really just carrying the whole team's on his back right there. And boy, I mean, he picks up about 3 or 4 tough yards after he got initially stopped there.
Yeah, great job by Brosey, I'll tell you. If you ever need a ride, just give him a call.
Yeah, he'll help you out. He's the man. Setting up the shotgun once again with a quick handoff from North Kitsap. And it looked like he got first down yards, but then put back. See where the referee spot this. It looks like it is the first down yardage right at the sticks.
The tackle, Matt Mays.
Matt Mays on the tackle.
Right.
Nice job from North Kitsap right now on this drive, establishing the run game. Maybe the coach is thinking, well, we need to get that run game going before we go back to the air.
North trying to give South a taste of their own medicine.
And so far, they're doing a good job with a little bit of smash mouth football here from North Kitsap. They've got a bit of a ways to go here. It's not, I think they're going to measure because it is very close to the sticks. And they're going to come out and measure the volunteer chain guys here for South Kitsap. Doing this job for years.
Those guys do a great
It's
job.
first down,
They
Vikings.
do a great job. Don Morgan, they're holding up the down marker, and Seth Posey helping out on the chain gang. These guys do a great job. They've been doing it for years. And it's all volunteer.
That's great.
The only pay they require is a South Kitsap hat every year.
Wow.
And that's it. And that's it. That's it. They take it. They love it. They love it.
One more chain gang for John Sedgwick.
I'll be working some chain gang for John Sedgwick.
We
this
got to
year.
get you a hat there, dear.
Yeah, I got to get a John Sedgwick hat. It's big enough for my noggin. Terry Moses helped me out there too. That's good volunteer work all around. We've got a snap to the shotgun quarterback.
He's right, looking deep.
Is that another?
Intercepted! Another interception by the South Kitsap defense.
And then
The
we're all
interception, Jared
over that pass from Stinger, number 13,
Finley on the field.
getting in on the interception brigade here for the turnover from North Kitsap. Nice pick. South Kitsap defense really doing a great job of shutting down the passing game here from North Kitsap. North Kitsap is doing a great job on the ground. And South Kitsap bringing a lot of guys in the secondary. Maybe keep it on the ground until South can stop you.
Eagle tip against the right line by the Wolves.
So they're going to take another shot at going deep. Unfortunately, Stinger.
And the Wolves will take over first down at the 25.
And not only was number 3 there, but also Sean Korf was there to make the play when it bounced off Stinger's hands.
Nice. Yeah, we're going every single secondary player for South Kitsap to have an interception by the end of the half.
You know, I'm thinking about going out there, suiting up and getting myself an interception.
I'm sure you'd be a welcome sight in the locker room. Maybe Arnie Otterbeck is going to be down in the locker room at halftime. They're giving a speech and also selling hot chocolate.
And signing autographs. Don't forget that.
Autographs, those are $5 a piece. More expensive than the hot chocolate.
Counter.
Right up the left side. We've got a wide open game here for Stephen Tucker up the right sideline. Nobody's going to catch him. 10, 5, touchdown South Kitsap. Stephen Tucker up the right side.
Straight up the field. Good job on the offensive line to kick that block by the My hats off to South Kitsap offensive line.
Creating some big holes. He's blocking the North Kitsap defenders off the line. Stephen Tucker right up the right side. Big gap, takes it to the house. That's twice South Kitsap this half has gotten the ball after turnover and taken it right to the house.
I'm telling
First
you,
play.
that hole was huge, D-Rod.
I could have driven my car backwards.
And your car is huge.
It's a Mack truck, is what it is. Stephen Tucker with all the room in the world there. Quincy Lyman for the extra point attempt.
Good snap, good hold.
And it's up.
And over end, good.
Right into the
Lyman's
high
extra
kick.
point is good. 7:39 and a half
Cannon firing
to
up
go.
the game.
It's
It's
19-0.
20 to South Kitsap with 7:39 here left in the second quarter. Arnie, you gotta like what South Kitsap is doing early on in some of these possessions here. The ball in the end zone.
That's just great. Great play calling by the South Kitsap Wolves. I'll tell you, right now I'm having a hard time not singing the fight song.
Me too. We're both South Kitsap grads, and that's our fight song on Wisconsin. Unfortunately, Wisconsin defeated Washington State last week, but we still love Wisconsin's fight song. That is South Kitsap's fight song, a.k.a. on South Kitsap. On South Kitsap. I know all the
Third
words.
flop time
Right
kicking
now,
off
the way
for the
things are
Wolves.
going, they're looking like they're on to victory, that's for sure.
Well, I really think that South Kitsap is doing a good job of playing that small
Taylor Chisholm and Ryan
that
Cleaver
passing
for the
running
Vikings.
to get what they want. Really, Devin Miller, Stephen Tucker, Sean Tesson really getting this offensive machine.
Offensive guys, the skill guys are doing a great job. The O-line is doing a real great job.
Kickoff from South Kitsap, left to our right,
Chisholm with the ball. They set up the wedge.
up the middle. Oh, hit at the 30, taken down at the 31.
There's just
South
a
Kitsap
return
special
from the
teams all over.
22-yard line.
Looks like
Out
Miller
across
again
the
on the
30 to the
special teams
31.
tackle.
Comes up a little dizzy there for a second, but that's okay. It's hard to keep the guy off the field that wants to play. There's three sides of the ball: offense, defense, special teams. He might be serving hot chocolate down the locker room as well.
Robert Easton on the
A lot of these guys play a lot of football here tonight. Even the coaches at South Kitsap. Yeah, I'm not just a single-dimensional player. I can play a lot of different places and a lot of different positions and do a lot of good things for this football team. That's a lot of leadership in our squad.
And right now it's looking like a lot of the younger guys are getting some reps, going for the inside draw once again.
For no gain for North Kitsap, it was a very minimal gain. South Kitsap's defenders ready and waiting for tackle and short game there.
Short gain out.
I played both sides of the ball, actually, so being an Iron Man here on Joel Knowles is nothing new.
So you know what it takes to play both sides of the ball. So these guys that play both sides, there's a lot of extra mental strength that goes on there, I'm guessing.
Yeah, and a great lung capacity. Flag on the field.
Two flags on
running.
The quarterback takes it right up the middle. Stinger on the Kitsap. We have a penalty against North Kitsap. 3-snap penalty once again. North Kitsap's going into these films and have a little heart-to-heart with their players, I think.
Yeah, it's a good thing that Jerry Parrish retired as a head coach. He still volunteers though. Jerry Parrish has been with North Kitsap. I would almost go as far as saying since the school opened, but I doubt that.
Which I think is in the 1890s. But I don't think he's quite that old. Jerry Parrish also the head of the Coaches Association and a great asset to all coaches.
It's second 15 to the 25.
He has been around the game for many years, that's for sure.
South Kitsap with the penalty pushes North Kitsap back to the 25.
South Kitsap looking like they're playing in their nickel defense.
And we'll go with the shotgun once again here and go to the air. Lots of pressure, the pocket collapses. Once again, the quarterback for North Kitsap is really dodging some bullets here.
He really is.
He's flushed out of the pocket and starts to rush the ball. A mobile target. And I think these South Kitsap secondary and linebackers are really looking to tee off. And he needs to be careful.
Stinger did a nice job stepping up in the pocket, just doing the right thing, tucking the ball in, running, but they need to coach the kid up on sliding.
Yeah, because he's just standing right up there head first. And, well, we'll see what happens here. 3rd and 5 here at the 35-yard line. Kitsap snap off. Right up the right side,
Rosie.
Right side, up first down, up to the 46-yard line. Nice run by Rosie. I really think they should just keep going out to Rosie until South Kitsap can stop him. So far, Rosie's unstoppable.
He's just been a horse out there tonight.
He is North Kitsap's offense to this point. Clock is running, 5:35 left for North Kitsap. They want to see if they can get some points on it before going to the locker room, give these guys something to play for in the second half. South Kitsap doing a good job of shutting down North Kitsap completely so far. They look like they're well scouted out.
You know, being around South Kitsap, they just do a real nice job of preparing the kids week in and week out. You know, I remember playing here every Monday morning. We would have a scouting report prepared for us. Rosie, once again, getting the ball.
Up the middle for 5-6 yards.
Converting the offense. Strong running legs of Rosie.
And Ryan Williams.
But as I was saying, you come in Monday morning, have a scouting report,
Rosie
look
across the 50 to the 48.
about the opposing team, and you'd watch some films.
The coaches put in a lot of extra hours that people don't know about in sports programs here at the high school.
Second and long,
And
4.
the kids, the players, an extra edge. And that's just a lot of hard work.
It really is, especially because a lot of these guys are teachers too. So not only are they putting in time in coaching, but they're also putting in time in the classroom.
It really says a lot about the teaching ability of these coaches. These guys are true
Tackled by Sean Court.
teachers, and they teach
Way good for a
hard
first
work.
down
We do see
for the
coaches
Vikings
on both sides of the ball.
at the 38-yard line.
We got a first down from North Kitsap off the short roll and pass out. South Kitsap giving up a few yards here in the short game for North Kitsap as they are kind of maybe they're tuned into our headsets here, but you know, going back to the small ball type of game, short passes and keeping it on the ground. Haven't really seen any bombs yet. We'll see what happens on this play. Handoff, right up the middle. Brosey stopped this time as he's stopped at the line.
Kyle
He's just
Brosey again,
almost-
the
how
ball
much does he
carrier.
weigh?
He's
He
stopped by
weighs
Andrew
195?
Brosey is 190.
190. Wow, that's for the work he's doing there, punching through the line and dragging guys with him. He's doing a heck of a job. That's pretty light. He's playing 240.
Yeah.
And he's only 190. Hats off to Brosey so far this half.
And just running tough right up the gut.
Snap and handoff.
Up. They
It's a
keep
keeper.
it.
It's a keeper. They're running the quarterback up the right side. And he's going for the first down mark. And no quit in this North Kitsap team as the quarterback keeps the ball and goes up the right side.
None at all. South Kitsap caught on their heels there for a moment. Had to use a rodeo tackle to take down Stinger.
And, I think Stinger was going for it. He just said, I'm going to tuck the ball in and I'm going for it, coach.
I mean, hey, what do I got to lose? I'm down by 20 points.
Right, go for it, right? Well, Stinger showing a lot of heart.
First down,
I
Vikings.
think we've got a lot of respect for Stinger up here in the booth. The fact that he's even stayed in the game. He's taking a lot of early pops here in the game. We're going to get a timeout on the field. And
Timeout Wolves.
South Kitsap takes the timeout.
Again, we remind you
North
that
Kitsap
the
is
being
going
sold
to
up
have
North
time to
End.
talk about it.
That
North
latte.
Kitsap, or South Kitsap looking to
Lots
stop
of
the
other
momentum
goodies
here.
for your enjoyment.
Yeah, I think the biggest question mark this game on for North Kitsap is their ability to make something happen in the red zone. So far, North has put themselves in positions to score and score early. In fact, if they scored those times they were in the red zone, this drive may be the one that would make them tied. But unfortunately, North couldn't quite get it put together. Actually, I tip my hat off more to South's defense. They were just coming together and playing tight and doing the things they needed to do to make plays.
And North did have a fourth down play here in the first quarter going left to right, where it was an early play in the game and it was close. And if they converted that play, this could be a different ball game. Gives a little bit more confidence, a little bit more momentum to the visiting Vikings, and unable to convert that fourth down. And here we sit, 20-0, with North driving, looking to gain back a little bit of that confidence, and a little bit of that momentum.
I'd have to say the nice thing that's been going on with this game is we've definitely cleaned up the amount of penalties going on.
Yeah, well, at least the last 7 plays. I don't think we've had one penalty the last 7 plays.
Well, don't speak too soon, D-Rod.
Here we go. Knock on wood. Handoff.
Inside handoff once again to Bros, running tough.
And we apologize to Bros or Brosey. We're not sure if it's Bros or Brosey. We're going to go
Brosey.
Tomato.
Right, I'm not sure. Brosey with another tough run up the right side for 4 yards.
5-yard line.
And North Kitsap making a valiant effort here, keeping the ball mostly on the ground, trying to get some points, either 3 or 6 here. I'm guessing 6. Not sure the reliability of their kicking game, but really reducing or keeping down those big wide receiver sets and just going back to more of a standard shotgun and handoff type of situation. Oh, we got number 20 going up the left sideline here, I believe.
Nope, number 45. Greg Atelli.
On the play.
Boy, he's quick. He's scampered up the sideline pretty quick there.
Godly, the ball carrier, pushed out by Brandon
I haven't seen
Mayfield.
him yet.
Nice quicks by Atelli. Hey, check it out. Flag.
Whoa! Knock on wood no more. There's a flag on the
Good for the
field.
first down.
Against
Might be a late hit call against the
Foul
Wolves.
test against the Wolves.
late hit against the Wolves, and that is going to drive DJ Stevenson nuts as North Kitsap gets ever closer to the end zone, and now they are in the red zone, which is 20 yards and into the end zone. And North Kitsap is a real shot at scoring here and making things a little bit interesting before half.
I think the thing that really hurt the Wolves on that play too is it's a penalty from the spot. So we'll see how the Wolves respond here. They've been doing a nice job defending against the Vikings offense here in the red zone.
The ball's going to be placed at the 7.5-yard line. The Wolves have to really bear down here and keep the Vikings from punching it in. We're going to see company linemen. We have 4 linemen up front for South Kitsap, 3 linebackers. North Kitsap calling a timeout to discuss this.
Timeout, Vikings.
to see how they want to attack the Wolves here and get the ball in the end zone. If you're the coach for North Kitsap, what do you run here?
I mean, you're back down to first down. You don't have to score on that play. I think they should definitely rely on the running ability of Bros or Brosy, you know.
Either one.
Whatever
They're
you're
both,
at. Yeah.
They're both out there.
Same difference, right?
Right.
I would lean more towards that and then maybe set up some play action. Work it underneath, perhaps.
Well,
in my opinion, that's what I would look for.
We haven't seen too much play action from North Kitsap. We've seen mostly the long ball, the shotgun handoffs, the handoffs to Brosy. So we'll see what North Kitsap throws. Maybe they'll a little bit of trickery here, maybe an end around or something like that. We'll see what they do. Number 45 for North Kitsap getting in a couple of plays ago. Big on the late hit from South Kitsap at the left sideline. You might see him. He's a quick guy.
Yeah, definitely.
North Kitsap's got some weapons. So
Yeah.
we'll see what they do here.
It should be interesting, mixing it up with the tough running of Brosy and then switching up with the quick feet of Otelli. Vikings lining up in that double tight gun. They're looking QB keeper, wrapped up and brought down.
QB falls down in the line of scrimmage as he's tackled. Not really what the Vikings had planned coming out of a timeout. I think they're trying to get the South Kitsap Wolves defensive line off guard there, get some nice blocking up front. One thing about those matchups, offensive line, defensive line, is leverage and who gets where they want to go. South Kitsap linemen are very well coached and not going to be pushed around very easily.
Absolutely, and I'm just looking at some of the strength totals here. South does a real nice job preparing their kids in the weight room over the summer.
Keeper to the right side. Stinger again keeping the ball. This time loses 2.5 yards. He is brought down by the South defense. Stinger choosing to keep the ball, not throw it. I'm not really sure what the strategy here is. Maybe run some time off the clock. Keep South from scoring another touchdown before halftime. They're down to 3rd and 10 here, or 3rd and goal at the 10 here. I think North Kitsap wanted to take some time off the clock. Maybe if I'm North Kitsap, I want to score that ball as quick as possible.
I'm with you there, D-Rod. North Kitsap sets up, motions to the trip set.
Shotgun. And we're going to the air, back to the air here, and overthrown. Looks like a mix-up.
Oh, hey. Mr. Hankey is out again.
And the Hankey has been tossed. I bet they're going to call that a pass interference in South Kitsap because there was supposed to be a receiver there. Something tells me he got bumped when he wasn't supposed to get bumped. Now, is that in high school football? Is that an automatic first?
It is. I believe in high school. I don't know if it's changed. I believe it is a spot foul, as in high school, or if it's within the red zone, it may be at this point half the distance to the goal line.
We're going to find out real quick here. I think they're going to half the distance to it. They're going to give it the old halfer.
Look like we have a defensive holding on the Wolves.
Now, we talked about how North Kitsap is going to look at some film tomorrow. We talked about some of their mistakes. The Wolves are absolutely going to be looking at some film tomorrow and looking at those flags. One thing about those flags, they just give the other team extra opportunities.
That's right.
It's 3rd down.
3rd down.
Repeat the 3rd down, keeping it on the ground, going right. Some of the Vikings players indicating score, but they're stopped about the 1-yard line. Something tells me they're not going to kick a field goal here.
No, if I was North Kitsap right now, I would just go for it. Right now they're down by 20. They've got nothing to lose.
I would stack the line, hand it off to Brosy, single back, and just punch it in.
I would. Kid's been running tough all game today.
I believe North Kitsap calls another timeout to stop the clock this time.
Minute left.
We're at the 1-yard line as South Kitsap trying to make a stand here with their backs to the end zone. North Kitsap trying to punch in their first score of the night. South Kitsap doing a good job of keeping the Vikings off the board. Any trickery here from North Kitsap, or you think it's just going to be a straight up the gut type of run here?
You know, I think in this situation you can't afford to run the risk of a trick play. I think that they should just stick with the basics. Just get down and dirty and play some smash mouth football right here.
I agree. I don't think that North Kitsap's roll-out, play-action type of quarterback situations have been successful at all this evening, and I think the run game has been very successful, especially with Brosy. and just keep it on the floor and punch it in.
South's definitely done a great job of containing the outside run all game.
We'll see if South can keep that run game contained right here, and we'll see what North Kitsap brings to the table. We'll see. Stinger's going to take the snap under center, 4th down and goal here at the 1.
Double tight. Giving it
Handoff, Brosey. He's in for a touchdown for North Kitsap as Brosey very fittingly scores the 4th and goal touchdown from the 1-yard line for the first score of the game for North Kitsap. And you never want to get blanked. You never want to see a team get blanked, but at the same time, you never want to see a team get back into a game. That's a big drive and a big score for North Kitsap, something that doesn't make the South Kitsap coaches very happy or very content going into halftime.
And definitely, I think it gives the North Kitsap kids some belief in themselves, because it really was a good drive set up by the North Kitsap offense, and especially the running of Brosey.
He literally carried the team on his back that drive.
Literally, both North Kitsap and the South Kitsap team.
The extra point up and good for North Kitsap, making it 20-7 with 56.2 left in the half. Wondering if North Kitsap will try to go for a little trickery here. I doubt it. They just put some points on the board. They don't want to gamble and lose and put points right back up on the board for South Kitsap. This makes it a game now for North Kitsap. They go into the locker room if the score stays the same. They go into the locker room believing that they've got a shot at this game. And for South Kitsap, you don't want that.
That last drive was definitely a confidence booster. When I was looking back at the play, I noticed that one of South's D linemen was running off the field. And he looked a little confused because he started running back, so I don't know if that had an effect on the play. I guess the coaches will take a look at it tomorrow and try to determine what went wrong.
Sort it out from there as North Kitsap prepares for the kickoff.
Ryan Williams and Jared Moore.
Back for South Kitsap, number 34, Ryan Williams, and number 3, still getting his number.
Just call him the athlete. The athlete, number 3.
Well, he deserves it. He's got a good game tonight. Ryan Williams fields the ball at 15, upfield. He's got some running room. He's got some running room. He's going up the right sideline. Ryan Williams up the right sideline. Looking for some blocks. Going up the right sideline.
Juke it and drive it.
Right sideline. 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, South Kitsap. Ryan Williams off the kickoff, and they get the points right back.
What a great job by the South Kitsap return team. Especially a real nice job by Ryan Williams. He caught the ball, he found the seam, and just took off. That's how you want kickoff returns done.
Wow, we get a little excited up here in the booth. Hopefully we didn't blow your ears out on that one. That was just an exciting play from an exciting player. Ryan Williams, the junior, takes the kickoff, goes diagonally, and takes it to the house. Got some excellent blocks from his special teams blockers there to take it all the way in for a score, an 85-yard kickoff touchdown return.
D-Rod, you remember that confidence thing I was talking about?
Yes.
Well, a play like that kills it.
Yeah, it does, because it was 20-7 going into half. Now it's going to be most likely 27-7 after this extra point is converted. And North Kitsap players scratching their helmets a little bit here. What happened?
Well, players on their turn just lost their lane.
And
Williams.
The kick is up and good. The referee's doing a good job tonight calling things both ways, I think. Both teams making mistakes, but both teams being penalized. The refs calling a good game. North Kitsap, a little breakdown there on the kickoff return team right before half. Maybe a little tired, worn out, whatever you want to call it, after that scoring drive. No excuse really to have a breakdown like that on special teams.
Yeah. Back to the refs, what you said, you're absolutely right. They're earning their pay tonight. And I'll tell you, there's been enough fabric thrown on the field to make a quilt.
We're going to have, it's going to be a fundraiser official quilt. It'll be auctioned off next to the hot chocolate stand near the locker room.
And that money will go to D-Rod's John Sedgwick hat for working the chain crew.
Well said, my friend, well said. Arnie Otterbeck, his debut here in the booth tonight, doing a fine job in place of DB Darren Bowden, who's at his 50th class reunion over in Prosser.
Wow.
Most people don't know he's that old, but he asked me to pass on his deepest regards to the audience here tonight. Most people know DB pretty well on the station as South Kitsap. Kicks off left to right, a squib kick, little bouncer, fielded at the 30 by North Kitsap. 39.3 seconds left to go in the half. South Kitsap up 27-7. North Kitsap will take over, going right to left. And boy, that confidence thing we were talking about, you just kind of said, poof. We'll see what North Kitsap does here. Are they going to take a knee, or are they going to try to throw some plays up?
You know, just kind of knowing the attitude of these kids, I think they're going to go big. Why not?
Well, hopefully the quarterback can stay strong and not take too many big hits. Brosey, big yards up the right side, 8 yards on the play. He's just kind of stepping and juking and driving upfield there. Brosey just really one of the highlights for North Kitsap tonight.
Doing a real nice job on that run, but the clock's still running. Dropping back, looking deep.
And nicely broken up by the South Kitsap defenders. I believe number 9 there in on the play for South Kitsap. Brandon Mayfield breaking it up. Nice play from Brandon Mayfield, the senior, I believe. And the secondary getting quite a workout tonight.
Yeah.
Sprinting, running, walking, sprinting, jogging, sprinting. They are just all over the place. These guys are in great shape, ready for the passing attack from North Kitsap.
I'm telling you, watching all this passing is reminding me of my college days.
Watching all this passing, I'm going to have to get a drink of water here. I'm getting a little tired.
Oh,
and the
fumble.
ball comes out.
Bros.
Brosey fumbles the ball. It's punched out. An uncharacteristic miscue by Brosey getting the ball punched out. North Kitsap recovers as time winds down here at the beginning of the first half. It's 27-7. South Kitsap at halftime with some big plays against North Kitsap, visiting North Kitsap Vikings. South Kitsap and North head into the locker room. North Kitsap scratching their heads a little bit. What could have been? A couple of opportunities and a couple of giveaways there. South Kitsap looking pretty good. The South Kitsap Wolves looking pretty good here in the first half.
Yeah, the South did a real nice job this first half. I would say the real key to this game has just been South's defense. They've just been doing a nice job. North found ways to get turnovers. They were trying to mount drives and only got 7 points out of the whole deal. So really a lot of the success that's been happening tonight has been the result of South Kitsap's defense. Also, I think another key to this game were the amount of turnovers that have been going on. Stinger's been put in a real tough position. He's been taking some hits and just had to make some quick decisions. Unfortunately, he's been intercepted 2 or 3 times this game.
And tonight we feature the South Kitsap Marching Band. The South Kitsap Marching Band will be performing tonight for the audience here in Port Orchard, and we are really proud of these guys. They are under the direction of Mr. Gary Grams here at South Kitsap, and a good system they have here. The marching band sounds excellent every year. It seems to me that they just sound better every year. Maybe that's just because, you know, I'm getting older and more sentimental. But the SK Marching Band sounds great, and hats off to the band and to Mr. Gary Grams. We'll be back at the beginning of the second half here at South Kitsap, and we'll kick it over to the SK Marching Band. We'll see you in 15 minutes.
Now I have to go watch Joel Hill, High School Musical. Oh, yeah. That'd be good. His play practice.
South Kitsap Marching Band under the direction of Gary Graham. Tonight's halftime show will be under the direction of Senior Drum Major Desmond Wilcox and Junior Drum Major Chris Cooper. They will be performing the first part of a three-part series featuring songs from the Beatles. Tonight's songs include a medley of Magical Mystery Tour and A Hard Day's Night. Tonight is also the debut of new SKHS Marching Band uniforms. Drum majors would like to thank the band, section leaders, parents, and the South Kitsap School District for their dedication and hard work in supporting the band. Ladies and gentlemen, our halftime show, the South Kitsap Marching Band.
back to Joe Knowles Field in Port Orchard, Washington, as the South Kitsap Wolves and the North Kitsap Vikings prepare to battle here in the second half of a 27-7 game in favor of the Wolves. Here in the second half, we brought over Brian Davenport over from the radio side of things. And Brian, what do you think of that first half of ball between North and South?
You know, I was really surprised. I didn't think it'd be as one-sided as it was. I felt like South going with the squib kick to start the game really rattled North Kitsap, and they didn't recover until partway through the second quarter. And South was able to capitalize on that and put a lot of points on the board. It'll be interesting to see what adjustments they made at halftime and see how North comes out and if they're ready to defend an aggressive attacking offense by South Kitsap.
South Kitsap really able to capitalize, as you mentioned, especially with a couple of big plays, a catch and run from Devin Miller and a kickoff return, 85-yard kickoff return from Ryan Williams, taking it to the house right before half, right when it seemed like North was getting some momentum. And going into halftime, that's not really what you really want to see if you're North.
I'm sure North was excited to put 7 points on the board with less than a minute left in the game, and then to turn right around and give up a long return. It was kind of surprising. Stephen Tucker also had a great first half. He rushed for over 1,000 yards last season, and it looks like we're seeing more of the same this year as he had a couple of big runs, one for a touchdown. He's having a good game.
And Stephen's got to give it up to his offensive line for creating some big holes and doing the right things up front. And South Kitsap getting ready to kick off. North Kitsap getting ready to kick off to the Wolves. And it's a short little kick up the left side. It's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be a penalty. Looks like North is just trying to keep the ball out of the hands of the South returners here in the initial kickoff of the second half.
Yeah, they probably don't want to see more of what they saw at the end of the first half, so they just elect to kick it out of bounds. South will get the ball on the 35-yard line with the illegal procedure and start from there. One of the things that South has had going for them so far this game is they've had fantastic field position every time they've started drives, and they've capitalized on it. Let's see what they can do here.
One thing that's driving the Wolves coaches nuts in the first half, two things actually, turnovers and penalties. We'll see if those issues are resolved here in the second half. I'm sure that they were addressed in the locker room at halftime.
Oh, they've got to be. Fortunately for South, the interceptions turned out to be a zero-sum as they went back and forth and just exchanged turnovers, and South was able to capitalize finally with a touchdown. But let's hope they can cut down on it.
Tester behind center. Hands off to the left to Ryan Stephen Tucker up the left side and just eats up a huge chunk of yards, about 15 yards on the play. Stephen Tucker just doing what Stephen Tucker does. 15-yard gain, first down, South Kitsap.
He's really capitalizing on what's going on. The offensive line is doing a fantastic job of blocking. And one of the things I've noticed all game is that North's defensive line is really inexperienced, and it's showing. They're not able to stop him at the line of scrimmage, and so he's able to get into the secondary. And once he's into the secondary and can turn on the speed, he's off to the races.
And with his well-coached as the South offensive line, that spells bad news for North. Tester takes the snap, hands off again to Stephen Tucker, who's hitting the backfield, but still isn't able to gain his balance after a 360 spin move. Gets past the 50-yard line, stopped by the North defense there for a 4-yard gain, and gives South once again good opportunity here to do good things on offense. When you're eating up big yards on first down, that really sets you up for success, not only for the drive but for the game.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I'm really liking is that the offense is having no trouble against that 3-4 defense that North's been running. Sometimes you have trouble picking up the linebackers. South, the line, no problem.
We've got a smart quarterback behind center and hands it off to Stephen Tucker again. Once again, hit. No 360 spin move tricks here as he is wrapped up and taken down behind the line, or right at the line of scrimmage. Short game possibly. Stephen Tucker getting a lot of carries here to start off the second half. South Kitsap sending a message, we're going to establish the ground game in the second half.
Yeah, and so far the ground game's been working. If it's working, why go different? Stephen ran for almost 200 yards last week. He's a workhorse. Go with what works.
And we'll see that on the other side of the ball. Brosey for North Kitsap, also the tremendous runner for North. Right now, though, South Kitsap working on a drive. Two backs, hands off to Tucker again, staying on the ground, big hole left. Excellent blocking. Is Tucker spinning, stumbling down the left sideline until he's dragged out of bounds after about a 15-yard gain. Stephen Tucker once again. This just seems like a methodical, ram it down your throat, smash mouth football from South Kitsap right now.
It's typical South Kitsap football. They run the ball, and then they run the ball some more. I'd be surprised if we saw really many passes on this drive. Part of me is wondering right now, though, what adjustments did North make in the locker room to try and stop the running game of South Kitsap? Because so far, they haven't been able to.
You'd think that they might stack the line a little bit more, bring up an extra linebacker. You know the run's coming. They're not doing a very good job of outside contain right now. Ryan Williams gets the ball, bounces right, it goes up the right side, and he's got some room, and he's going up. He gets tackled. He picks up about 15 yards. Ryan Williams getting in on the act this time, bouncing around like a pinball machine, or like a pinball in a machine, and the North Kitsap tacklers having a hard time on the initial takedown of the South Kitsap runners.
The Vikings just aren't doing a good job of tackling right now. Some great moves on that run, though. Really earned every single yard and was able to elude some defenders. It's like he was greased up out there, just tough to bring down.
Stephen Tucker and Ryan Williams at will running against this North defense so far to start off the half. South just ramming it up the middle. And Ryan Williams, once again, right up the middle, picks up about 5. Goes untouched from the line of scrimmage until he's taken down in the initial secondary by some Vikings linebackers. Ryan Williams getting some carries here, the junior out of Marcus Whitman Junior High.
And there's more of that north-south running that just pays off so well for South. Really, if they can go north-south, avoid going east-west, and really, run a shorter distance to the goal, it just makes sense.
And the offensive line, once again, doing a great job for South Kitsap. Really just textbook running plays so far to start off the second half from South Kitsap. Under center, takes the snap, Tester throws right side to Devlin Miller, and he drops the ball. He had it cradled, and I believe he picked his head up just a second before he caught the ball to look upfield, and that's kind of an old Achilles heel for receivers. If you pick your head up before the ball gets to your hands, usually you're going to drop it.
And I'm sure he's excited. He saw that the ball was coming untouched, that he was open. He's probably just excited to turn it upfield and do more of what he did earlier and get a big run.
Well, I'm sure he won't make that same mistake twice, and that's an uncharacteristic pass play on this first drive from South Kitsap. They're chewing up clock, and they're just marching towards the goal line. As Tester takes the snap, 2 backs, Williams and Tucker, and Williams hit at the line of scrimmage and falls forward for a couple yards. That's third down.
Tucker did a great job of blocking the extra linebacker that was coming up the middle right there, and that's one of the strengths of this I formation that they run, is that whoever doesn't get the ball can do a good job of blocking that extra linebacker that's being brought. North's trying to bring extra linebackers, trying to confuse them with the formations that they're running, trying to get through South's line, but it's just not working. They're doing an outstanding job of blocking. Unfortunately, they couldn't quite get the first down there. It'll be interesting to see if they can get it here on 4th down.
3 backs this time. Hand off to Williams, bust left. He's still on his feet, tackled near the line of scrimmage. We'll see if he could pick up the first down. I think he's a little bit short.
The refs are signaling that he didn't make it, and it's North Kitsap's ball. It looks like on their own 7-yard line. That's a lot of field. It'll be interesting to see if their offense can do a little bit more than their defense.
And I don't think the South Kitsap coaches are necessarily disappointed without a score there. The over 4 minutes off the clock to start off the second half. They proved to North Kitsap that we're going to eat you alive on the ground, and we're going to put your backs to the wall here against the end zone, and we'll see if you can dig yourselves out of this hole.
Absolutely. I think the only mistake they made on that drive was the dropped pass. And even that wasn't necessarily a mistake. You have to, when you're running the ball, you've got to pass every once in a while just to keep the defense honest, try and get some guys out of the box and create some more holes for your run game.
Ryan Williams and Stephen Tucker getting a lot of carries for South Kitsap, doing a lot of work that last series. North Kitsap with the handoff right side, not a lot, up to the 10-yard line for a gain of about 4. Nice little run there.
Not bad. North Kitsap's been running the wing tee for most of the night, and part of the basis of that is some deception, some trickery, trying to confuse the defense on where the ball's at. And you saw it right there, a fake handoff and then a handoff on the weak side. Got about 4 yards. That's one of the strengths so far for North, is they've been able to run the ball. Let's see if South can stop it here in the second half.
A little tough to see from our angle here. The yardage, only picking up 2 on the play for a 2nd and 8 opportunity for the Vikings. And up the right side again, right up the gut.
North Kitsap, not a lot of success here with these early runs, trying to run out of the danger zone here with their backs to the end zone. South Kitsap's defensive line doing a good job here and doing a good job of communicating, not falling for these fakes.
They're doing good so far. It'd be interesting to see what happened right here. North's probably going to pass, and most of the time when they're passing, there's a lot of pressure on the quarterback. Let's see if South can try and force a mistake and maybe a turnover here on 3rd down.
Well, we're definitely going to think pass here. North Kitsap pass happy in the first half. I imagine they're going to send out wide receivers to the right and left. And North Kitsap calls a timeout to talk about it early here in the second half. And South Kitsap establishing themselves both offensively and defensively, and I'm sure that the coaches addressed that in the locker room at halftime.
Absolutely, and I'm surprised that North took a timeout here. They can't be happy about that. You only get 3 a half. Being down as many as they are, they're going to need as many timeouts as they can get later in the game. Maybe just not on the same page, didn't like what they saw coming out of the huddle. Might call something else, but I'm sure we're still going to see a pass from North. And right now, that's probably what South's talking about in that huddle.
And kudos to the South Kitsap secondary for playing a very good game out in the secondary, keeping a lot of his passes from being caught. North has completed on a few occasions, but in large part, South has managed to bottle up that passing attack from North. A little bit of help from the quarterback, Stinger, who's overthrown a few of his receivers. Stinger looks a little bit like he's overthrowing the ball a little bit tonight.
Yeah, overthrown. I think he's a little concerned about the interceptions. He threw 2 interceptions last week against Bainbridge Island, and that's got to be in the back of his head. And so I'm sure he's trying to get it over that defender, which South's been doing a great job in the secondary, swarming to the receivers and not giving them good looks to catch the ball.
And one thing about Stinger, though, is he's proven that he does have an arm, and South cannot overlook that here in this 2nd and 8 situation where he's picking it up from behind center. Fake handoff, rolls right. Goes up the sideline on the bootleg right, and incomplete pass. Looked like the receiver dragged his toes a little bit there, trying to stay in bounds and get the reception, but no such luck. It's going to bring up a 4th down. I can't think that North Kitsap.
They're giving him the reception. They're calling a 1st down right now. They're saying that he got it in, that he got the pass.
It was a close call. One of the officials, the initial call was
an incomplete
pass, and the other official comes over and says complete pass. It's little things like that that possibly will come back to haunt the South Kitsap Wolves here. You never want to underestimate a team. North Kitsap take a break like that and run with it. We'll see what happens here. Stinger takes the ball under center, one back, man in motion from right to their left. Brosey right up the gut, as we've seen so many times this game so far. Tackled by number 21 for South Kitsap. That's Corey Galligan. South Kitsap just seems to be ready and waiting for these runs from North. And it just seems like South Kitsap's really kind of just establishing themselves this half and just said, yeah, we're expecting the run. We're going to get in your quarterback's face, and we're not going to give you anything easy.
Absolutely. One of the things they struggle with the first half is on those run plays. They're stopping them, but they're stopping them after the line of scrimmage, so they're giving up 4 or 5 yards, and if you give them 3 shots at that, they're going to get a 1st down. They got to try and stop the run a little bit sooner.
And the thing about Brosey is that that's a nice little end around to the right side. Number 22, that's one of the kickoff returners. Ryan Cleaver, the senior, up the right side for a few yards, scampering up the right sideline. Now the thing about Brosey is that he looks like he's 240 out there the way he's carrying tacklers with him, but he only weighs 190. He's got to have a big heart and a strong work ethic to be able to run the way he has this game.
Oh, absolutely. I've been really impressed with how he's run this so far this game. I can tell that the summer conditioning program that he went through was fantastic, and it's really paying off because he's able to keep working those legs and just dragging South defenders with him to gain a couple more yards.
Stinger under center with a pre-snap flag. Once again, some yellow flags on the field here. We'll see what the call is. It's going to look like it's a false start for North Kitsap. Once again, we're coming to you on SKTV here at Joe Knowles Field in Forge, Washington. Director of the program, Mike Downen, and his trustworthy crew of student audio visual staff doing a very good job once again. Very happy to be doing this in the booth. the announcing. Brian Davenport once again in here with me, third quarter, and this is me, D-Rod, Dave Rodriguez. 5:30 left in the third quarter. Oh, fumble on the play. Stinger fumbles the ball, immediately recovers, but that's a wasted down right there as South Kitsap tacklers are all over Stinger, who fumbled the snap. Looked like he pulled his head up a little too quick, and the ball was out. And it's a wasted down as it'll be, I believe it's going to be second down and 10. As he fell forward a little bit to get the extra yard back that he lost on the snap. South Kitsap all over it right there. Stinger doing a good job of falling on that ball. That's usually recovered for a turnover by the other team.
Absolutely, it was a good heads-up play. Dave, I just want to take a minute to give a shout-out to the crew for SKTV. I've been working here at the high school for, this is my 5th year now, working at the high school, and I've been nothing but impressed by just the high quality that these students bring to their work and how much work and effort they put into every broadcast, whether it's the football games or even the morning announcements. They really work hard. Mike does a great job. They do a lot of great work, and I've been really impressed the whole time here on the quality work they do.
I totally agree. This is my 4th year up here in the booth. Just have had nothing but high class and high quality the whole way, and nothing but good things to say about the crew and Mr. Downham, the work that he does, and a high quality sack there from Josh Burlingame coming in strong from the left side of the quarterback, Stinger, and putting Stinger to the ground. Stinger doing, doing a serviceable job here tonight, holding on to the ball a little bit too long, and those routes just aren't developing as quickly as he'd like, and he's running for his life right now. And number 43, Josh Burlingame again in there. No fumble on the play. The Stinger was down. Burlingame all over the place. Special teams, defense, offense, everything tonight.
You know, he's doing it all. He's doing it all, and we're really seeing North's line let him down on offense once again. Their quarterback just doesn't have any time to do anything with the ball. He doesn't even have time to read his routes and see if guys are open because South Kitsap's defensive line is swarming in there and just really putting the pressure on them. And we see it paying off for South.
Well, there's going to be a punt here. You know, the Stinger drops back and he's got no time to throw.
Should see a punt return here.
Number 5 for South takes the ball up to the 45-yard line. That is Sean Staten for South Kitsap. Taking the ball. And South Kitsap gets the ball back here. I'm going to guess back to the ground game and eat some clock and tell these Vikings, once again, we're going to keep it on the ground. We'll see if they mix it up at all or if they're going to keep it on the ground. I don't expect too much of a change here from DJ Sigurdsson and the SK Wolves.
No, not at all. I'd be really surprised. South's in the driver's seat right now. They're up 20 points. The pressure is not on them in any way. They're starting out with great field position every time they get the ball on offense. They're able to stop North on defense. There's no pressure. If I were them, I'd chew up as much time and as much field as I can. Try and put some points on the board, but just keep the ball out of North's hands.
Two backs, Devlin Miller wide right. Hand off to the left side. That's Stephen Tucker up the left side and forced out of bounds after a gain of about 6. Nice little run there by Tucker. Tucker just, doing a very good job tonight, doing what he's asked to do, following his blockers, and a lot better job, I think, the second half than in the first half of just putting his nose to the ground and driving his legs.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they said to him in the locker room there, but it seems like he's a little more focused, and every time he gets the ball, he's able to get some positive yards.
Tester under center here. Two backs once again. Oh, little confusion there in the backfield. Tester throws. And a nice grab made by Devlin Miller. Goes up the middle and is tripped up at the 30-yard line. Devlin Miller bails out. Chad Tester catches the ball and gets some yards after catch.
Boy, that play was all Tester. It looked like a broken play. I thought there was going to be a sack in the backfield, but Tester was able to escape, to squeeze out, and throw a pretty good pass on the run to Devlin Miller. I was really impressed with that.
Chad Tester was all but dead in the water there. He really recovered very nicely there in order to squeeze that pass off. Devlin Miller in the right place at the right time had to jump real high to make that catch. Devlin Miller, a very strong 6'3", able to get up there, climb the ladder, and make the catch. And I believe that is Miller who got popped pretty good there at the end of the play. Who's down. I believe that's him. Not quite sure. It's hard to tell.
Looks like he's holding his leg there. Looks like he's holding his leg. Might have just bent the wrong way as he went down.
Yeah, it's kind of an awkward position there. Patrick Olson with the SK training staff out there to help him up, and it looks like he's going to be okay. And fans give him a nice hand as he comes off the field. Devlin Miller with a very nice catch and run.
To Devlin Miller. Miller ahead to the 30-yard line. For the
And
first
not a
down.
lot of flags plaguing the field as much as we saw in the first half. That's kind of a nice, refreshing change. I think you'd agree with that, Brian. It's always nice to see a better played game. The first half was pretty sloppy with a lot of penalties on the field.
You know, it was, and I'm sure that's one of the things that both sides talked about in the locker room. It's just the mental discipline, not giving up the false starts, the illegal shifts, but really focusing and knuckling down and just concentrating and getting your mental game dialed in.
Two backs, hands off to Tucker to the left side. Tucker just turning those legs and running over tacklers. Eventually taken down by number 45 for North Kitsap. That's Greg Otel. North Kitsap, not giving up any big plays, but at the same time, South Kitsap happy with the 5 to 7 yard gains per play, sometimes the 15-yard gains. Just kind of throwing, it's a one-dimensional attack. North Kitsap expects it. South Kitsap says try to stop it, and until then, we're just going to keep doing it.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a pass play here just to keep him honest, and it looks like that's what we're going to see.
88.
Chester rolls out.
80. Oh, nice. Ooh, that could almost be pass interference there. He got there a little early. The pass attempt from Tester as he rolls right to Leon Ledoux. Through Ledoux' hands, broken up by North. Leon banged up a little bit in the first half on a crossing route on defense. Comes back here in the second half to see him back out on the field.
It is good to see him back out on the field, and I hope Devlin Miller's able to get in, and that he's not out very long. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they rested him for the rest of the game, being up 20 points, but let's hope it's not a long-term injury because he's a crucial part of their receiving game.
Leon Ledoux last week with 91 yards on 5 receptions. Not a bad target himself out there. Tester takes under center, hands off left to Stephen Tucker. It's sniffed out pretty quickly by number 38 for North Kitsap, the linebacker. That's Brad DeShano. It's a nice play to get in there in the backfield and break up the running play for South Kitsap. That's a sign of life there on the defensive side of the ball for North Kitsap.
Yeah, I think that's one of the first times this half we've seen him in the backfield at the same time as the football. If they can do that a couple more times, they might be able to stop South. Right now they're trying to put up a big stand here on 4th and short. Try and stop South in their tracks, get the ball back with good field position. It'd be a boost for them right now, and that's what they could use.
North anticipating the run, stacking the box, going left. Stephen Tucker, he's up to the left sideline, and he is up to the 9-yard line with a big first down run, bailing South Kitsap out of some trouble there. And South Kitsap right now looking to put it to North Kitsap as they march ever closer to the end zone. It's already 27-7 with minute 6 left in the third quarter. This potential score would all but seal the deal for South Kitsap.
It's unfortunate. I'm sure North coming in here was looking to try something different. They were on the negative side of a blowout last week, losing 41-7 to Bainbridge Island. I'm sure they wanted to do better right there. They guessed up the middle, guessed wrong. Stephen Tucker was able to take it outside for a lot of yards.
Nice run by Stephen Tucker. Chad Tester takes the snap and hands off to number 24 for South, who gets into the end zone. Nice play for South Kitsap, number 24, Sean Allison. Somebody we haven't really seen tonight. Gets it in, quick 6, South Kitsap. Actually, that wasn't a quick 6. They worked pretty hard for that one. Up the left side for a score, 6 for South Kitsap. It's now 33-7, South Kitsap.
And again, that was South's running game getting dialed in. Just marching down the field, a lot of North-South running, and it paid off. And once again, we hear the cannon fire. We'll see Quincy Lyman come on, try for the extra point. He's made 2 of 3 so far tonight, I believe, 3 of 4.
3 or 4.
Well, this will be the 4th one. He's made 2 of the first 3. Let's see if he can convert this one to go 3 for 4.
This should be 4 for 5 if he makes this. 5 touchdowns. We're working on the math up here in the booth. We've got a calculator and an abacus and actually a slide rule to figure out that Quincy Lyman
is now
4 for 5 on the night. And that took a lot of work from us.
I really did. I had to take my shoes off, use my toes to add all that up. But it doesn't surprise me that Quincy's been dialed in for the most part. He spends his spring playing soccer, and he's quite a fine soccer player, so it doesn't surprise me at all he's able to get dialed in with the kicks. He missed his first one, a little rusty early in the season, but he's been perfect since then. South's on the board again, 34-7. And I'll tell you, David, North's in a bad way right now. Partway through the third quarter, almost the end of the third quarter, not much time left. They've got a long way to go in the fourth quarter. And I would be really surprised if they were able to pull it out.
South Kitsap really stepping on the neck of the Vikings here and putting a score on the board here at the end of the third quarter. South Kitsap probably, they don't have my statistician available with me tonight, but over 100 yards on the ground just in this third quarter, I'd say.
Oh, absolutely. They've started about the 50 both times. And their running game is how they're moving the ball. They'll mix in a pass just to keep them honest, try and get guys out of the box so they can't stack, so North can't stack too many guys in the box. But it's been all ground game all the time, which is typical South Kitsap football. They've been doing it for a long time because it works, and it's working tonight.
The recipe's good. Keep using it. And, that's what South Kitsap's been doing. DJ Segerson and the reliable coaching staff do a great job, not only of coaching, but scouting. And every time you play the Wolves, you got to be expected you're scouted out. And North, no difference here, as the Wolves kick off from right to our left, away. And North fields it, fumbled kickoff, and number 22 for the Vikings fumbles it. Ryan Cleaver. He's been pretty good tonight. That's a rare mistake for him. He's been usually reliable, and North is going to have a tough field position once again. And that's kind of been the tail of the tape here in the second half.
Absolutely, and not just the second half. Most of the game they've had a tough field position. You're talking about scouting just a minute ago, and I got to say, last weekend, Labor Day weekend, I was on the ferry on my way over to Seattle, and I ran into some South Kitsap football players on their own time, holiday weekend, last weekend before school starts. They're on the ferry going over to watch the Bainbridge North Kitsap game to scout for this game. That's dedication.
And that's something they chose to do on their own, and that really, you see a team live, the game before you're supposed to play, and that really gets you mentally ready. You know what they look like, you know what they run, you know what they do, you're totally ready. That's just, that's good mental discipline, I think, from a football team.
Absolutely.
It's a good point.
Good preparation, good dedication. There's just some things you can't get from film. And some seniors on the boat going over Questfield, doing what it takes to get the edge, and that's paying off.
Oh, the game was at Quest. The game was at Questfield last week?
I believe so. I believe it was part of the, the King Classic. Is that what they call it? What do they call it there? They have a bunch of different teams playing at the Quest Field.
That sounds good to me. That's cool. They get the high school teams to play there at Quest Field. That's always good.
Yeah, it's a fun time.
They have a nice display there at Quest Field with all the high school football helmets from all around the state.
Well, yeah, and my understanding, it's the only stadium in the NFL that has that. Every high school in Washington State is represented right there at Quest Field in those football helmets, including South. It took a little while to find it, but it's there.
It's a beautiful display, and really proud of the Seahawks and Quest Field for doing that, really honoring the high school football players here from Washington State. As the third quarter draws to a close, it's 34-7 South Kitsap. I want to thank Brian Davenport for joining me here in the booth as we roll into the fourth quarter. Brian, it's been nice.
Dave, it was a pleasure. I appreciate it. Had a good time. Enjoy the rest of the game, and we'll see you around. Take care.
Fantastic, my friend. Fantastic. Always a pleasure to be joined by our guests from the radio side, Brian Davenport. Tonight, no different. Offering some very colorful insights to the game, and well done, professionally done by Mr. Davenport, a teacher here at South Kitsap High School Social Studies. A ton of respect for all the teachers here at South, and all the people that put in all the time and dedication for the students, the athletes, and the participants, from the band to the football team to the audiovisual crew, and to the cheer staff. It's all the class act. It takes a lot to put on one of these football games. This not to mention the athletic training staff headed by Mr. Patrick Olson here for the football program. And here at the end of the third quarter, 34-7 in favor of South Kitsap. Arnie, welcome back. What did you think of that third quarter?
I thought the third quarter went pretty well on both sides of the ball. North Kitsap once again just came up short, but they did have a real nice stand in the red zone against South Kitsap. So these kids are still clawing and fighting to the bloody bitter end.
Total respect for the and you mentioned that kids. These guys are still kids. They're young guys. They're facing a little bit of diversity right now in the first couple weeks of the football season, and I don't really see any give up from the North Kitsap side of things here. Frustration, definitely. You don't ever want to be on the other side of a beatdown like this. But it takes a lot of class and it takes a lot of heart to keep playing through it all.
Yeah, definitely, and especially in today's sports, kids have the opportunity to watch a lot of that unsportsmanlike behavior, and it's just good to see a nice, clean football game being played out here tonight by two tough teams.
South Kitsap has the opportunity here to once again show the prowess on defense. And as Arnie mentioned, both sides playing a tough game tonight, scrapping hard. South just on the better end of things here. Once again, forced out of the pocket is Stinger, number 7 for South Kitsap, putting his helmet between his numbers. That's Chad Tester, the quarterback, once again making a tackle for the Wolves. That's just an impressive play from an impressive athlete.
That's just quarterback on quarterback crime there, you know. I mean, that's just, I mean, if I'm Chad Tester, you got to really be feeling for Stringer. But, hey, you know, he's out there, he's all over the place and playing defense. Great job by Chad Tester.
And we've got a a punt coming from North Kitsap, right to left, and that is number 3. Oh my goodness, up the left side. All we need is one more block, and he's going to the house.
Oh, I think we got a clip on that one.
Ouch. There is some yellow laundry on the field.
Is there any way we can check the replay on that one? That looked awfully close.
That was close. Is that an illegal block in the back or a clip? A clip is when you go below the waist or below the knees, right?
That's true. Yeah, that is correct. So I believe the proper call would be block in the back, but we'll see what the refs have to say about it.
Jared Moore, number 3, with the return, and it was a beautiful return. He would have gone to the house. And I'm not sure where they're going to penalize them from the point of the spot. Our people in the replay booth tell us that was an illegal block in the back?
No, it was actually a holding call, so it wasn't as bad as it could have been, but it was still bad because it cost a touchdown.
An illegal clip in the back. I just made that up. That was hilarious.
At the 27.
We are coming to you tonight from Joe Knowles Field in Port Orchard, Washington, as the South Kitsap Wolves almost had a punt return for a touchdown. Unfortunately, taken for the Wolves, taken back for a penalty. Fortunately for the Vikings, keeps another score off the board for the time being. And the Wolves look to score again here as Ryan Williams takes it to the right side up to the 21-yard line. Sorry, that is not Ryan Williams. That's number 24, Sean Allison, the same gentleman who scored the last touchdown for the Wolves. And he's getting some touches tonight, and that's good for the young guy. Allison is a junior, 5'9", 180 pounds. Getting some nice runs in for the Wolves. It's kind of nice as a coach to be able to plug in whoever you want into your own system. And guys are going to run the same plays and be just as successful.
Definitely, and it's nice for those younger guys to get some time here underneath the Friday night lights, you know, to showcase their abilities to their friends and families and the community. And it's just a real special occasion to be out here and playing. You know, I remember the first play that I ever had here at South Kitsap.
Go ahead.
I was actually a sophomore. I suited up for the homecoming game.
Big time,
big event. Big event, and you know, under Coach Fisher's regime, one of the traditions that we had were all sophomores played, and the first plays that I had were on offense, and let me tell you, I was terrible.
That good, huh?
Not very good. Not good at all.
What position were you playing?
I was playing offensive guard at the time.
Okay.
And then by the time I was a senior, they realized my athletic ability and potential and moved me to fullback. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, I did move to fullback. That's just because I was an okay runner.
And an okay runner in college, is that right?
Yeah, I played 1 year fullback at Eastern Washington University, and then decided to transfer to Whitworth College, where I finished my football career. And when I was there, they knew I played defensive line, so they moved me to defensive tackle. So, you know, the guys in the trenches, you know, I have a heart for those guys because I used to be one of them on both sides of the ball. So I have a great deal of respect for those guys and really appreciate the kind of work that they're doing, kind of like the offensive line is doing tonight.
Offensive line is doing a great job for South Kitsap. Sean Allison, number 24, with another nice run up the right side on that last play. I believe we got
Number 6 is in at quarterback for South Kitsap as he hands off to number 24, Sean Allison, for the touchdown. That's 2 touchdowns for Sean Allison in the second half. Number 6 for South is Brian Dorsey in at quarterback with a nice little handoff to Allison for another touchdown. 6 points South Kitsap. It's 40-7 with Quincy Lyman up for the extra point.
You know, I really hope Allison's family is here at the game tonight because he is just having a really special night. That's just got to feel good for the junior.
A guy that might not normally play behind Williams and Stephen Tucker is getting some touches and actually 2 touchdowns. We need an extra guy on the field, says the Wolves. And Sigurdson sends out big number 75.
Andrew Yaptinchai.
I think that's Yaptishne in these parts. It's the accent. It's all about the Port Orchard accent.
That's true. We do have an accent here in Port Orchard. All right, here's the snap and the kick, end over end.
And it's good from Quincy Lyman. He's 6 for 7 tonight on extra points as the ROTC cannon fires up another celebratory and ceremonious cannon shot to symbolize the Wolves' dominance here tonight. Nothing short of a beatdown here this evening, Arnie.
Yeah, we have a lot to shoot about tonight, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Luckily, those are blanks, but the Wolves are all over these North Kitsap Vikings. Just a tough night for the Vikings and a great night for the Wolves as the SK band plays the fight song once again. The Vikings are going to have a lot to talk about in film tomorrow.
Yes, they're going to have to review. In fact, one of my very good friends is the special teams coordinator for North Kitsap. So definitely after this game, I will have bragging and teasing rights.
Uh-oh. As a South Kitsap grad, you will have earned those rights. Once again, it is a privilege to have a former South Kitsap player up here in the booth with me, Arnie Otterbeck, grad 97. Played with Ed Fisher before DJ Sigurdson was the coach. Arnie, what do you think? What do you think about DJ's system here at South and what he's done so far here at South?
You know, to be honest with you, I had the opportunity to go visit and watch a few practices and see what they were doing. And I'm really impressed with the program DJ Sigurdson and the rest of the crew run here. A lot of the coaches that I had are still here, and I mean they're really doing a nice job getting the kids trained, having them lift weights and run during the summer, getting them physically prepared for the game, and then watching a few practices. Just the amount of time the coaches spend and the attention they pay to the detail, and you know, like we were mentioning earlier, these gentlemen do not have the luxury of just being football coaches. A lot of them also are teachers on the side, so they have those responsibilities as well as maintaining families.
And
so
a lot of respect goes out to those guys once again. And as North Kitsap takes the snap, and number 4, Stinger still in the game for North Kitsap. And once again, he goes down. That is Stringer, isn't it? I've been calling him Stinger tonight. Stringer goes down once again. He's taking his lumps tonight, but he's still in there and he's standing strong.
He's just a tough, gritty kid. I think that's how they raise him in Polsbo.
Is that Polsbo or Polsbo?
I have no idea. It depends if you're from Port Orchard or somewhere else. It's part of the accent, right?
It's the accent. Little Norway.
Like Washington.
Washington or Polsbo. Little Norway is where the North Kitsap Vikings hail from. Stringer going over the middle. Nice catch and run from number 20, still on his feet for North Kitsap. Taylor Chisholm, who we've seen quite a bit of tonight, with a nice over the middle catch and run. Where was that 3 quarters ago, I wonder? They seem to have sent a lot of receivers deep, but not much over the middle until just now.
A great job by Chisholm and a great job by Stringer finding the open receiver. I think right now, South Kitsap, they have a number of their backups in, so you know that's going to have an effect on the game. But not taking anything away from Chisholm and Stringer. Great pitch and catch. Way to get upfield and make an opportunity for your team to score.
Nice play. That's one of the best plays we've seen from North tonight. They might want to look to go back to that later on. Stringer takes the snap from shotgun, goes deep to the right, and overthrows his receiver once again. Stringer may be in the weight room a little too much. His right arm is just rocket ready to go tonight. he's overthrown open receivers about 4 or 5 times tonight.
I would agree. I mean, some of those may have been costly for the team, and maybe if he managed to get those receivers, get it right where it's supposed to be, the score would be a little bit closer.
I would agree with that. I think once Stringer gets his arm under control and his power, I think he's got a potential to be a very good quarterback for North Kitsap and possibly beyond.
Possibly.
You know, it takes work and dedication and scouting yourself and looking at tape and seeing what you're doing, and probably just a matter of mechanics. Probably just overthrowing the ball. We got a man down for North Kitsap. Haven't had a lot of injuries tonight. A lot of flags, a lot of penalties, but not a lot of injuries. So we've been pretty lucky with that. Looks like he's cramped up.
Colin Fogarty, the big offensive lineman, junior at 6'4", 240. If he continues to stay in the weight room, he's definitely got the size to make a future for himself if he continues to play football. It's not a good sign for the North Kitsap offense.
They've already had struggles as it is keeping the South Kitsap defense out of the backfield. And 72 gets up for North Kitsap, and he's gingerly escorted off the field as the crowd gives him a nice hand. And a good crowd on hand tonight here at South Kitsap and Port Orchard, about a couple thousand. Nice crowd for the first home game of the season.
Definitely nice to see that support here, and it's definitely good to see Fogarty walking off the field on his own.
Little hamstring issue there, I think.
Well, let's see how North Kitsap responds. Losing a starting offensive lineman like that can affect their offense dramatically. So let's see what happens. South Kitsap playing pretty conservative in their nickel defense. Playing that 3-man front. Let's see if North Kitsap decides they want to pound the ball or they're going to the air. North Kitsap lining up in a double wing, going back to the old school, huh?
Looks like a wing. Hand off to the left. And is that Chisholm?
That would be Chisholm carrying the ball.
Wrapped up on the left side. No fooling the South Kitsap defense. They've seen the wing before, and they generally know how to handle it. Kind of pulled me up here a little bit in the booth. I thought the quarterback kept it. Defense is all over. Meanwhile, the ball's going to the left side. Now, I never know what to expect, but South Kitsap's defense, once again, sniffing it out and preventing a big game. It's going to be 4th and 6 for the Vikings. It looks like they, at this point in the game, are going to opt to run a play and hopefully get 6 yards and keep the drive going.
Yeah, it's things are looking pretty bleak for the North Kitsap Vikings. Rolling right, looking for his receiver, finds a man underneath. Let's see, incomplete.
And it's going to be a turnover on downs. I don't think that's a complete pass. Turnover on downs from
the Wolves take over.
Taylor Chisholm was the intended receiver. South Kitsap will take over going left to right. A turnover on downs by North Kitsap. North Kitsap showing some signs of maybe being tired or uninspired or fatigued at this point, and it shows at this point in the game.
Definitely, and North Kitsap has a number of kids who are playing some Ironman football, and in the later quarters, I mean, it starts to show like it is right now.
North Kitsap choosing to call a timeout probably for that reason.
Yeah, and much respect to those North Kitsap kids, just gritty and tough and just powering through adversity. I mean, you're coming into South Kitsap territory and, South Kitsap looking like they're in their traditional form tonight.
Well, that is true, Arnie. That's interesting to mention that. South Kitsap has got a long history of playoff appearances, league championships, not only in football, but for other sports. But here in football, they've got a long tradition. At this point in the season, they'll be posting a 1-1 record before league play starts. I'm kind of wondering out loud, do they have the types of tools that it takes to maybe win a league title and make it to the playoffs?
Mm-hmm. Definitely, under the coaching of people like Ed Fisher and Maynard Lundberg, it's definitely created this culture of winning. A very rich tradition, or a tradition-rich school. And I have to say that being a part of that, I'm very thankful for just the experience alone and just the way they mold young men into men.
And a handoff up the middle, no gain for South Kitsap. That's, I believe, number
DJ Brand,
31.
the ball carrier.
Number 31, DJ Brannon for South Kitsap, was stopped by a few tacklers from North Kitsap. South just working on the running game here, it looks like. I believe number 6 is still taking snaps under center for South. Sorry, that's number 17 for South.
Gordy Anderson, the sophomore.
Out of Cedric Junior High. Hands off, up the left side. We got
Wow.
some running room, got some space, and he's going to
Wow.
take it to the house. Number 24, Sean Allison. They're not going to bring this one back.
Flag on the play.
And there's a flag on the play. Arnie, let's not get too excited too quick.
All I'm saying is Sean Allison. That's all you got to say. Sean Allison.
I'm going to say two things. Sean Allison flag. Unfortunately for Sean, that was a nice run, but it's going to come back with a offensive holding penalty.
Holding against the Wolves.
And you got to wonder about that. If there's no hold, does Sean Allison bust that run off? Or, you know, if that guy that was held isn't held, does he make that tackle or that stop? You know, it's hard to say. And
That's just a mystery of life, D-Rod. We'll never know.
is it significant or insignificant in the world of penalties, which we've been quite a bit a part of here tonight? The world of penalties. Another flag brings back a big run. Hard to get excited until you scan the field to see if there's any laundry on the deck.
And there has been a lot of that. Gloria's going to be busy tonight, that's for
right.
sure.
That is correct. We've had some excitement here in the second half with Sean Allison, the junior, tailback, taking it in a couple of times. He's getting some practice at least.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, and even though that run's coming back, he gets a feel of what it's like to trot it into the house there. He's going to stay in the game.
Let's see, looking like they're doing it again. Sean Allison, big block. Great blocking by the wide receivers down there.
That's some nice stock blocking from those receivers. Gordy Anderson stepping in as a sophomore quarterback, getting some minutes in here. And impressive as a freshman last year at John Cedric Junior High School. Gordy was a nice passer, a good team leader, and good that he's getting some minutes in here late in the game as well.
That's just got to be real nice for that kid from John Cedric. I'm a little biased personally, but South Kitsap just does a great job working with the junior highs, trying to prepare the kids for high school as soon as possible, get them indoctrinated into the system early.
And this is good in case there's an unfortunate or unforeseen injury. Some of these guys are going to have playing time under their belts. No, they won't be blinded by the Friday night lights.
Definitely. Great running by number 25.
Flag on the field, flag on the field, flag on the field.
Andrew Hudson, the junior.
A flag on the field, bring it back.
Wow. How many flags is that tonight, D-Rod?
I've been counting. I've got a clicker here, and I think we're up to 92 flags.
92 flags, that's got to be some sort of WIAA record.
Oh, it blows the old record out of the water.
Who held the old record there, David?
That'd be South Chippewa Rock.
South Chippewa Rock.
78 flags in one game.
That must be a B8 team out of somewhere in Eastern Washington.
B6.
B6.
That's small ball out there.
That is small ball.
It's almost Canada.
In Canada, they play with 12 men. No wonder why. They just joined two of those teams together.
And a 110-meter field. I don't know what's going to have, a 55-yard line.
Hey.
Canadian football. I can't figure it out.
I'm telling you, I'm a science teacher. We just went over the metric system today, so I'm preparing my children to know Canadian football there, David.
And once again, Arnie Otterbeck, not only a new science teacher at John Cedric Junior High, but a new assistant football coach at John Cedric Junior High School, preparing those young guys that we've been talking about to come up here to the high school. Happy to have Arnie on board as Gordy Anderson takes another snap under center here, hands off to number 37, another new runner as they just keep rotating him in.
Michael Murray on the
Michael Murray.
Michael Murray on the run.
An unknown comes in for a carry.
D-Rod, I say just go down there, see if you can get a turn running the rock.
I probably wouldn't have any trouble just get myself on the sideline there.
Just line up.
I know the coaches.
Hey, it could be like that scene from Rudy. We could all line up and turn in our jerseys and say,
Rudy Rodriguez.
D-Rod plays for me.
I would love to get out there. Unfortunately, the third string of the Vikings would probably crack me in half. I'm a basketball guy, not so much a football guy, but love the football game. High school, college, pros, junior high, all alike. We've got a big pile up there on the 42-yard line. Michael Murray, the ball carrier, once again with 3:04 left in the fourth and final quarter of tonight's game, barring an unforeseen overtime.
Looks like North is making some changes up front, letting some guys play who haven't been in tonight.
They should be playing. They should be able to get some minutes in tonight. South Kitsap just keeping the ball rolling here. A couple of big plays to come back on penalties. I guarantee that Coach Sigurdson will be addressing the penalties issue with his boys tomorrow at film.
Definitely, especially if South Kitsap's trying to make a run and a run deep into the playoffs. They can't continue playing this undisciplined.
Agreed. And a stop behind the line of scrimmage from the North Kitsap defense, and I believe that's going to be Sean Allison on the carry. Short gain, this brings up 2nd down and 9. As Sigurdson calls the play to Gordy Anderson, number 17, the new quarterback.
Running back met in the hole by the senior, Matt Gass.
Gordy's going to have to hustle out there to avoid a delay of game. I believe that South is just going to call a timeout here. I can't believe that they'd be able to get it. Yeah, they're going to just run some clock off and take the delay of game penalty as Gordy jogs out to the huddle. South, are they going to take a penalty or are they going to take a timeout?
Timeout.
And that'll give us a timeout. Arnie, it's been nice having you in the booth tonight as we wind down the last quarter of the game. The last quarter of the game. Any of the other coaches that you recognize on the sideline for South Kitsap?
Oh, absolutely. Jim Fairweather. The trainer Pat Olson was there. Adam Knaus. Actually, I had the benefit and the privilege to study under Coach Knaus during my time here in the Wolf Den. Coach Dame was a swim coach when I was still here, but it's nice to see him back and coaching football. A couple former teammates on the sidelines too, assistant coach Jay Powers, as well as assistant wide receivers coach Dustin Booth and Eric Canton.
Eric Canton is a local staple here in Port Orchard, class act. A note on Coach Knaus. Suburban legend has it that he played an entire second half of a playoff game back in '87 with the broken leg. And once again, not quite urban legend, but suburban legend says that that's true. I was at that game. He looked like he was a little gimpy, but I didn't know he had a broken leg, and I guess we'll have to ask Coach Knaus that one day, if we next time we bump heads. And South is going to run the clock down here.
Victory formation. Yeah, definitely. I could see Coach Knaus playing with a broken leg. I could see him playing with 2 broken legs.
He has got that type of desire, that type of attitude.
Definitely. Definitely has a love and passion for the game, and he and the coaches just do a real nice job learning, continuing to progress as the game progresses, and doing their best to prepare their students or their players, for the future, both personally and for some of them, a future in athletics.
It's good to see the South Kitsap student body out in force tonight as they are painted up and shirts off. That's great for those guys to be out there tonight. And the cheer staff is really leading the fans tonight, and the band played great tonight, and just overall a good night here in Port Orchard for the South Kitsap Wolves and the community.
Absolutely. Both teams played well. South Kitsap just came out on top. North Kitsap played tough from whistle to whistle, from quarter to quarter, and just gotta really tip your hats to these guys for just doing the job they've done out here, despite facing some of the adversity that their school has faced as far as losing players and stuff to the new high school.
And with as many penalties as we've had tonight, we also got to take off our hats to the officials for keeping track of the game for us. It's a tough job. They don't get to take time off. They're out there the whole game, and hats off to them for keeping track of this penalty fest that we've had here tonight, which I'm sure next week is not going to be the same for the South Kitsap Wolves.
Absolutely not. I expect to see a turnaround as far as discipline goes.
Next week, the South Kitsap Wolves will be at CK as the Wolves take a knee on 4th down. Brings the clock down to 29.8 as they'll turn the ball over on down, switch sides. At CK next week should be an interesting task for the Wolves as they go into Cougar territory.
Yeah, it should be really interesting. Mark Keel, former USFL and New England Patriots tight end, has been head coach of that program for the last few years now. And I've known Mark, and Mark works really hard to help those kids succeed on and off the field. And, you know, I think that'll be a great game.
Mark, Coach Keel is a good coach, and he'll have his guys ready as once again,
That's Brad Fairweather on the sack.
Brad Fairweather comes in from the left side of the quarterback and rodeos him down. That's a nice little sack for Fairweather to chalk him up there for the young junior. Nice sack as we count down. 7 seconds left in the game, and that'll wrap it up. It's a 41-7 blowout here tonight at Jordan Knowles Field in Port Orchard as the South Kitsap Wolves tear up the North Kitsap Vikings of Wolves. The Wolves go to 1-1. The Vikings go to 0-2. And the Wolves will be at Central Kitsap next week. We'll be back in 2 weeks.
At Olympic Stadium.
It's been a privilege, Arnie, to have you in the booth with me tonight. And this is D-Rod. Arnie, thanks for being here.
D-Rod, thanks a lot for inviting me out tonight. I had a great time coming out here, watching my old team play and watching them have a great game.
It's nice to see our hometown boys play as well as they did tonight. So hats off to the SK Wolves and the coaches.
Absolutely, and I look forward to great things for the rest of the season.
Thanks for being in the booth tonight. Thanks for joining us tonight here on SK TV for the second game of this season as the Wolves come out victorious 41-7. Thanks for joining us. This is D-Rod saying good night and see you next time.